Yo, Crispy, thanks so much for the raid. Holy shit. Thank you so much. What an unbelievably gay raid. I didn't expect you to be done with stream so soon, jeez. Alright, you fellow Chris Speaks raiders, we're here for beans? Alright, well give me like 1 more minute, and then I will be here early. Oh jeez. Alright, well sleep tight, Chris. Thank you so much for the raid, I really appreciate it. Hold on, let me shout you out real quick. Yeah, alright, I'll be back. Give me like 1 minute, chat. Stay right here. Alright, chat, alright. Night, Chris. Immediately searches Alec Gunter in my chat. How we doing? Look, you caught me like, you caught me and I'm not even ready. Holy shit. Oh no, wait. Hope you didn't hear the echo. Jesus Christ. How's everyone doing? Comb your hair? Jesus. What the hell is it doing? It's all over the place, okay? You might just have to deal with, like, the strays. How's everyone doing? It is boiling up in here today. It's a Thursday. Don't worry, thought I have Loompa Loompa here. Hey Admiral, Pars, Luo, Oscar, Chris, Torn. Let's see. Oh yeah, wait. Jokester, welcome in. Canada, yes, Canada. Ampar. Hope everyone's doing well. Right, weather is weird. Yeah, it's like weird. It's like cool one day and then warm the next. Like today, the past couple days have been insufferably muggy. It's not even that it's hot, it's just that it's muggy, and I really hate that. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. We are going to get started with, well, I'm gonna chill for just a couple seconds while I get things ready. But then we are gonna get right into it. You have been the witch in the woods type of hair. What's that supposed to mean? Hold on. I'm gonna try one more time to get that like random one strand of hair. I feel like it's weird because I grew up with really long hair. I was the person whose mom never allowed them to cut, never allowed me to cut my hair. And then I grew up, and ever since then it's kind of been like various stages. And most recently, I went and got the shortest haircut I'd ever gotten, kind of like a not a speak to your manager type of bob, but like just kind of the speak to your manager kind of bob. And ever since then, I've just been really liking shorter hair. So, I think I might go in before it gets too cool. Here, let me turn this down a bit. And get it short one more time. But yeah. It's almost Friday. Does anyone have big plans for the weekend? I am just... Oops. Oh, actually, we probably did want that one, but, oh no, we are doing... So today we are doing transvestigation stuff. Have you ever dyed your hair? Orange Hue, I have dyed my hair before. I'll actually pull up a picture of it for you in just a second. To go outside. Just plans in general, even if it's just sitting on your couch and, watching TV. What's your plans? With Twitch chat, I don't go outside. Thorn, okay, I'll tell you what, okay? I gotta say, I have never felt more like a Twitch chatter than last night when I was in Kid Botkin's stream, who then raided into Kid Notkin. I hung around Kid Notkin's stream for a while. I went to sleep, like with one earbud in. I woke up like 2 or 3 hours later. Kid was still streaming and he was watching something. I chatted something. I don't even remember what I chatted, but I was there for at least 5 minutes. I remember Chodele saying something to me, and then I went back to sleep. And it wasn't till the morning that I realized, like, oh, I woke up in the middle of the night at like 3 or 4 a.m. and I said something on Twitch. Are Kid Botkin and Kid Notkin not the same person? No, they are not. I gotta install irrigation hoses for my trees. Summer's coming down here in Australia and gonna get toasty. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be weird. The 2 days I had school, it was scorching, versus the one day I didn't have school, the weather was nice and cool. Well, Pars, it means you have to go outside. You have to go outside once in a while, you know? Alright. So today I'm gonna be continuing to work on my art. We are going to be watching some stuff that we've put together. Let me just grab the links. Outside is where the homeless people and crackheads live. Jeez, parts. God damn. Here, let me just pull that up.
This video is sponsored
by... Oh, I love that this video... Okay, alright, I guess y'all will see it in just a second, but... This is what happens when I have to start up the content early. Here we go. Alright. I like how it starts out with a big old Adam and Eve sponsor, so that's cool. Following up on that porn conversation from Chris's chat. Here, let's turn off the music. I am going to do a bad streamer thing and start the video and quickly put together my tea, because I can tell it needs to be attended to, and then I will be right back. So go ahead. What's a transvestigation? Well, Orange Hue, I'm about to learn some of it myself, but apparently it's when people try to figure out people try to look at a picture of you and figure out if you're transgender. Yeah. Hey, check out my sponsor, Adam and Eve. All right, we're gonna get started here.
Adam and Eve. Use the code in the description to get 50% off
here,
one
I should
item,
probably turn
plus
that
free
up a bit
shipping
more.
in the US and Canada. Hi everyone. My name is Mia Mulder. In 2014,
Let me know if that's too loud
comedian
or too
Joan
short.
Rivers made a joke
Soft.
about then First Lady Michelle Obama. She was asked
All right,
at
grabbing
a
my
wedding for some reason whether or not America would ever have a gay president. And she said, "We already have it with Obama, so let's calm down. You know, Michelle is a trans." When she was asked to clarify her comments to CNN for some reason, she said, "I think it's a compliment. She's so attractive, tall, with a beautiful body, great face, does great makeup. Take a look and go back at La Cage aux Folies. The most gorgeous women are transgender." Too right, Joanne, you're so right. And shortly after, she died under actually suspicious circumstances during a medical examination, which has led some people to think that the Obamas killed her for coming too close to the truth.
What?
This joke has spiraled out of control since then, with many people taking up the mantle of being transvestigators. If Michelle Obama is trans, then how many else might be trans? Maybe everyone is trans. And in their investigations, they have concluded that inverts worshipping Satan are all controlling the media
Oh no.
and all of the world in
Oh,
order
that's
to
a booby.
sacrifice children to our dark god, Baphomet. And all of this happened because of a stupid joke.
Who is Michelle Obama? The
Obama.
first lady, or the first tranny.
Oh,
The spirit
no.
of the goddess
Fine
inhabits
art
the trans
boobies,
priest.
that's true.
Is she really a woman?
The ancient origins of the trans.
Alright.
Something doesn't look right.
Transvestigation is a catch-all
Fucking
term for the
Alex
conspiracy
Jones,
theory
dude. He's such a
that
classic.
everyone in a position of power is actually a secret trans person. But not in the sense that I am a trans person. We'll get there. In fact, a lot of people in this
Can I
space
turn up?
instead
Yes,
refer
you
to
can.
inverts. Inverts are individuals who have sold
Oops.
their soul to some evil force, a spiritual force, often the devil, in exchange for power, influence, and success. This explains why, in the mindscape of this theory, only inverts are people who have been able to become famous and become politicians.
Okay, wait, did I
Because of
miss
this
it?
trait.
What is an invert? Did I miss that? I heard her saying that earlier, but oh my god. All right. What is an actual invert? Did they say like someone who did a Faustian bargain? Wait, hold on. I'm familiar with Faust. He's the guy who sold his soul to the devil for, was it eternal life or some shit like that? Oh, so just like in general, like leftist maybe?
Is to become a trans person, because purity is reflected on how a person looks.
Oh, infinite
You
knowledge
are
and worldly.
male,
Okay, thank you,
But
Oscar.
because the devil has warped you, you become female.
Oh
Or
shit.
rather, you look like one. You may have seen images like these, for example.
Oh god, look at that. Large male skull, masculine soul, eyes, male jaw, male neck. Oh no. Male to female. High waist pants shorten the male torso and help hide lack of flaring hips. Oh my god. Welcome in, Chodole. How's it going? I love that bird. Is it okay? Is it birdja or birdga? I never know what to say. Male name, yeah, I know, right? Male Q, what is a male Q angle? Obliques and Adonis belt. Okay, hold on. Isn't that just what happens if you work out? What the inverted sodomite clown, Jesus. I didn't even see that until the end. I prefer the J version. Gotcha.
Targeting not only Michelle
Birdja.
Obama, but Kate Bush, Venus and Serena Williams, and basically any celebrity you can think of. Transvestigation has a lot of themes that are similar to other conspiracy theories that you may have heard of, such as QAnon, but it is slightly different. Transvestigation is highly spiritual, with a high focus on spirituality and individuality.
How?
It is not even nearly secular, but it also doesn't rely on any secular
Oh, I don't have
forces.
my Photoshop open.
You may think that people like this might be supporters of Donald Trump as a champion of the light. But most of them hate Donald Trump. Most of them hate
really?
far-right Republicans.
No
as well.
penis!
They
Wait,
belong
hold
to
on!
their
Hold
own
up!
we-
Hold up! Proof Trump is female. What does it say? Clear? Glass eyes? Soft chin? Small ears? Wide hips? My god! How are they ignoring this? How are they not commenting on this dump truck though? No penis. Oh my god.
Most of them hate far-right Republicans as well. They belong to
Yeah,
their
people like this
own
in the bird popped out,
weird
yeah.
little sect, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, this bird
To
is suspicious,
defy
okay?
God's order,
Jesus.
to twist
What the
is
hell
male,
is going on?
To twist what is female. The Baphomet order emerged at the Garden of Eden.
Yo,
Theory has
Orgy,
existed
welcome
almost
in.
exclusively on
We're starting with the theory, okay? Then we're gonna move on to the fun stuff. Welcome in. You haven't missed much. You've missed 4 minutes.
line, and for a significant amount of time. But it really popped off when Joan Rivers died. Joan Rivers dying was like the 9/11 of this conspiracy theory.
Any Baphomet
because the
enjoys in
Obamas
chat.
did in Joan Rivers. Just take a look at any comment field mentioning Joan Rivers dying. These people usually gather in Facebook groups, but also produce content on Twitter and YouTube that help contribute to the overall methodology of the theory. A
Also,
person
I
will
love her
ask
glasses.
The community at large about
Regular
whether or not a famous
Baphomet.
person is an invert. And they will usually post a few pictures. Usually, those pictures are taken at a very bad angle, bad lighting, just bad photographs. And that's, you know, that happens. Everyone
Wow,
takes bad
that looks
photographs,
painful,
even
to be honest.
celebrities occasionally.
Tilting man Bianca Eloise, okay.
And they will ask them to do sex determination. But it's oftentimes not about making some sort of scientific analysis of a picture, but rather making fun of
Wait
how
a
the
second.
personal picture looks. One of the most common replies in these comment threads is,
Hold on. I thought this was a speck of dirt on my screen. Does anyone see the black dot that is like right here? I don't know if you can see it on the, no, you probably can't see my mouse. But there is a black dot on her, like, on her background. And it actually, like, got me. Holy shit. I actually tried wiping it away.
man,
That's where the CIA missed.
the most
Oh
common people
no!
who are transvestigated are actually women. It
I'm not
does
gonna be
happen
able to
that men
unsee
are
it.
too, and even occasionally some trans people. But mostly, it's about women. But I should say at this point that this is
Of
not a
course.
large community. These groups can vary from just a few people to at most 15,000 to 16,000, which on Facebook isn't that much.
Transvestigation
And this
disclosure
theory is
now!
very loud,
We
but not a
moids.
lot of people are actually involved in them. But there are some people
I'm sorry,
who
Chodley.
are key figures in this movement.
I shouldn't have said
And I
anything.
want to talk about them as well.
I will
In this
self-flagellate
video,
later.
I don't want to use any real names or any real identifiers. Although you will be able to find these people if you really want to go looking. I want to ask you now to not do that. A lot of
Oh.
these people seem either troubled or sometimes genuinely nice. They've just
Oh, this is the red light, chat. This is the red light. So you should not be harassing anyone on the basis of this video, is what she's saying.
happen to fall into a really bigoted rabbit hole. I don't want these people to have any harassment because me having my channel, which isn't that big, still has significantly more reach than they do. And secondly, I don't want them to inadvertently get more attention.
What if I
don't
want to
think that's
though?
going to help anyone. So unfortunately, you'll kind of just have to trust me when I say that what you're about to see is a curated selection of what I think are the typical traits of this theory. But let's start at the very top with a person that I'm going to call Tywin Lannister.
Oh no.
This one's a girl, you idiot.
There we go, buddy.
I've been rereading Game of Thrones, so I got Tywin on the brain. Okay, Tywin
Tywin here is one of the most
is great.
prominent posters in the transvestigation space. She has made multiple videos that stretch into...
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so Tywin is actually referring to an actual person who makes YouTube videos. Got it.
hours.
Terrible, the screen
Discussing
keeps crashing on me.
transvestigation,
I'm sorry,
the causes,
Oscar.
The roots, the reasons, things like that. And she's also the manager and administrator of several of the Facebook groups that deal with transvestigation.
Jeez,
Tywin is a wonderful
Facebook
example
allows
because
this?
in a lot of her videos, she very much archetypes everything that's happening within the subculture. Tywin is highly spiritual, highly bigoted, and does not like most mainstream sources about anything. And she is definitely a natural woman.
A natural woman? Alright.
Hi everyone. Before we dig into all of that, we need to talk about biological sex. I've already made a couple of videos talking about gender and how...
Okay, listen. I'm not gonna comment on people's appearances, but holy shit! Her clavicles! Holy shit! I mean, I said I was gonna do it and then I did it. But, holy shit. Even my clavicles aren't that, like, I'm pretty, I would say I'm pretty skinny. And my clavicles don't pop like that. Alright, I'm done commenting on people's appearances now.
It's mostly just a socially constructed
Biological sex is the most boring
but
kind of
that's
sex.
not going to convince anyone who's into transvestigation or anyone who is
I prefer
transphobic
psychological
generally.
brain sex.
To them, what matters is cold, hard biology. And occasionally some religious fanaticism. We'll get into that. In biology and the bedroom, sex can be complicated.
Oh no!
In middle school terms,
Well, this
we
isn't a
inherit
sponsor.
2 sex chromosomes
I'm sorry,
from
Paris.
our parents. The mom has eggs, all of which have the X chromosome. But sperm, they're a bit more varied
Sorry
and
about that.
colorful. Sperm either have X or Y, and depending on which one the egg decides to receive, that is the chromosome makeup.
Wait, hold on. The egg doesn't decide to receive it, right? It's just like whatever sperm burrows its way in first, right? Am I misunderstanding that? Am I misremembering, like, basic biology? It's whatever sperm makes it first. Just make it a compliment. It's okay. Oh my god. Yeah, like earlier when I commented on her glasses. Isn't there a difference between man and woman in the terms male and female? Oh no, Parse. Oh no. I feel like who had this discussion just the other day? My god. It was William. Nope, I'm not getting dragged back in it. Nope.
The fetus will
It's not happening.
have. If a sperm has an X and the egg has an X, then you become XX and you become a female. And if the sperm has a Y, then the fetus becomes XY.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're genuinely asking. Okay. Yes, so it's the whole sex versus gender thing, Parse. So male and female refers to your sex, right? And man and woman refers now these days anyway. Man and woman refers to your gender. It used to be the case that they were kind of one and the same, you know? But now obviously things are a little bit different. But so that's why like you have people who that's why you have like kind of like the whole red pill thing referring to women as females. They're kind of like, in a way, they're reducing them to like their reproductive capability, you know what I mean? Wait, Melanie, what is that? What does that mean? Hold on. You're lady, I'm trans, you aren't. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, wait, I do understand, yeah. Yeah, like we're both women, but you might not be biologically female, if you are a trans woman. Man and woman is gender where it's sociological, male and female biological terms. Yeah, exactly, Paris. Yeah, that's how we understand it today. Now, there are some people, obviously, William, who don't think that there should be a difference. like they don't think that sex and gender should be different. They think that they should be one and the same. But that's also because of like it's partly because of their stance on gender essentialism. Yeah. Or at least that's what I think it is. But I'll have to. That's cultural, to be fair. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah, because I think that you can also have cultures that are not necessarily like who have other broader concepts of gender, right? 80 to 70, 80. Yeah, that's fair, Parse. Yeah, I'll give that to you, right? Like, I'm not saying that, like, if you don't have this view, then you're automatically a transphobe, right? But I'm saying the reason I bring up certain people is more so to do with, like, so someone like William, for example, kind of knows the situation we're in. And again, I'm not saying William to like point him out or anything. I'm just saying people like William, or people who won't like accept it or whatever, or won't accept the concept. It's kind of like the Christian conundrum, where if you know about the teachings of Christ and you don't accept them, then you're gonna go to hell. But if you don't know the teachings of Christ and you never knew who Christ was, then according to Christians, you're not going to go to hell because you were never exposed, right? So it's a little bit like that. Well, you would automatically be a transphobe. It's just how you approach them and change their mind. I think that being a transphobe, that's a good question. You're still go to hell because you're not baptized? Well, actually, Oscar, doesn't that depend on like if you're Catholic or not? Because I feel like I was taught that like unbaptized babies go to like purgatory. Why didn't Jesus exist in multiple places at the same time? The yogis can do that. Do they go to heaven? No. So I was taught that when I was a child, I was taught that they go to purgatory, which is basically just like a waiting room. Yeah, I have no idea what it's like for Protestants. That would be something that we'd have to look up, because I don't know. I don't know what it's like for them. Depends on who you ask and their mood at the time. He chose a different skill path. He put all his points into, like, I don't know, food multiplication. And resurrection. But yeah, so, the way I see it, people who are like, so the people who you're talking about, the people who live in like these other cultures who might not take kindly to the idea of trans people, right? I wouldn't call, I guess technically you can call them transphobes, right? Technically. But obviously I wouldn't treat them the same way, like you said. And also, they are kind of different from the people who are in like our society today, who know what trans people are, who maybe they even know a trans person in real life, or they've met someone or whatever, and they still believe, and like maybe they've heard like an argument or two like as to why, you know, they are like the way they are, and they still kind of refuse to like acknowledge them as a thing. So I think that's like, why do we're still talking about why do Christians proselytism seems pretty evil to subject people to the possibility of going to hell. I actually argue that that's like an old joke, right? It's like, well, I wasn't going to hell until you told me about it. And why did you tell me, you know? So yeah, Christians proselyte because they obviously want to increase their numbers, right? And like one of the favorite things that they like to do is take Christianity to a place that's like someplace in Africa, for example. Like you get all these missions, right? Like to build schools, or to like help them build wells and shit like that. And it comes along with like a very healthy dose of like Hey, by the way, here's our Bible. We need to teach you. We can teach you to the Sentinel Islands. Oh my god. Yeah, wait, didn't that guy literally fucking die? Who, like, approached the fucking Sentinel Islands tribe, and these people, like, shot him with arrows and just killed him, and everybody just said, yep, you deserve that. We're not gonna investigate. Your body's probably still there. Like, holy shit. Like, they're off limits for a reason. Holy shit, just leave them alone. That's the funniest part to me, too. I'm so glad you remembered that, Ergy, because, like, he was going there to teach them Christianity. Frankie Boyle had such a good bit about that. You're gonna have to link that to me, Ergy, at some point. We'll watch it when we're not stun locked. The tribe is sexist, though. They don't kill women. Now, we have... Okay, you know what? When I looked it up, I found out that we had actually made contact with them that was, like, more or less peaceful. He was told multiple times to leave them alone, and in his journal entries, he seemed like he knew he was going to get killed. I guess that's a... Okay. That's a martyr for you, right? Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Mirutsi, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Mirutsi, you need to... No, Mirutsi, you need to pay your fucking student loans. Stop. But also, thank you. Argy has not had the emotes. I appreciate it. Bro is a saint now. Speed ran to heaven. Jesus.
Typically.
Okay, listen, I can't say that he didn't deserve it, okay? That's really it. Like, that, yeah.
Male. Such as myself. This doesn't just affect your genetics. It affects how you develop phenotypically. Phenotype basically means the observable traits about any biological organism. This includes things like genitals, secondary sexual characteristics.
Hold on, I'm gonna see.
And much
Oh
else.
no
So
segments.
far, this is what most people have learned, especially people in transphobic communities who
Alright, well, I
basically
gotta
have
get
only
to work
retained
on
the
my
idea
art anyway.
that XX equals female and XY equals man. But it's a bit more complicated than that. I could, at this point, dig into some intersex conditions, talking about cis women who have XY chromosomes, for example. But that, again, is not going to convince anyone who is transphobic to accept me as a woman or anyone else. That line of argument doesn't really work, so I'm not going to use it. But what I am saying is that genetics are complicated, because while we do inherit sexed chromosomes, we also inherit a lot of other chromosomes. And all types of genetics, or most of them, at least, if I'm not going to be correct, have an effect on how you look. This, of course, you already know. You know that hair color and eye color and all other sorts of things are also inherited, but aren't necessarily sexed in nature. Both brother and sister can inherit your dad's nose, for example. But this can be made more complicated by the fact that not all genetics are created equal. Some genes will have a higher rate of expression depending on things that aren't actually genetic in origin. Things like diet, exercise, potential trauma that you may have endured. All of those things can affect your genetic makeup. Or rather, the way that your genetic makeup is expressed.
Murosi is a kind and generous god.
Might be more active than other ones. And, finally reaching the point, it's possible
she's
to
VIP
have a
for a
genetic
reason.
makeup that doesn't look the way that you'd expect. The most obvious example here
epigenetics, let's go.
Cis women who have XY chromosomes. But I want to do a bit of a personal example here, because you know how to get views here on YouTube. It's by doing story time. It's like a vlog, story time.
Okay.
I'm on once again. When I began my transition in 2000 BC, the doctors had me undergo like a flurry of health examinations and tests and psychological...
What she's saying is true, but was considered pseudoscience not so long ago. That's interesting. That's interesting, Holly. Yeah, I think that, like, there are lots of things that, even I thought were pseudoscience, like, not so long ago, and now it's, like, it's only been, like, 5 or 6 years, and already it's, like, become the more accepted, like, scientific standard, and it is crazy to think, about how that happened. Epigenetics are basically a break from Darwinian evolution. I don't remember what... wait, hold on. I'm gonna... And science didn't like that. I'm gonna do a very quick, like... Wow. Why am I screaming? Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is like how your environment can cause your genes to express a certain way, yeah. Like stress can... Okay, alright. Yeah, that makes sense, that it would, like, contradict Darwinian evolution, right? Lamarck? What is Lamarck? What's Lamarck? Lamarckian evolution? What? Oh, I see. The inheritance of acquired characteristics? Oh, what? And we bullied the fuck out of Lamarck. Oh no, he said you grow a long neck because you want a long neck. No, he did not. Lamarckian evolution. Original short-necked ancestor. Wait, why want to do it? Jesus, I just want to see the actual image. Keep stretching neck to reach leaves higher up on tree and stretching... Okay. Wait, are we discussing evolution? A little bit, Shadow on Twitch. Welcome in. That's like white woman manifest your destiny bullshit. Welcome in, Rabid Wombat. He also said that a blacksmith's son would have stronger arms because his father was a blacksmith. I've been here the whole time. Well, I'm glad you are. I'm sorry I'm not smug bug. It's basically the longer neck survives versus the neck gets longer and passes down. A jokester, I think that someone's gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's that. I think this is more like an intention, like intentionality. What is it, Lamarckian evolution, and why is it wrong? Oh my god, okay, wait. This is actually interesting. Okay, here we go. Mark argued a blacksmith gets strong muscles from his work, and his sons inherit those strong muscles. Okay. Oh, so this is like a completely debunked thing, right? Can we get an AI smug bug? Long live Botkin. All right, Holly. Thanks so much for stopping by. Enjoy your nap. Mommy milkies. Oh my god. Okay, so this is like basically more or less debunked. Oh, I can see why then that like the epigenetics would get sort of laughed off, right? Because it's then considered to be more of this like kind of thing. It is also called the inheritance of acquired characteristics, or more recently, soft inheritance. So is there any credence to this idea? Textbook Lamarckism. It was a hypothetical illustration. Basically what happened is that Lamarck got laughed out of the room when Mendelian inheritance became a thing. Gotcha. I walk in and it's epigenetics. I half expected you to be off on a realism tangent. Oh my god. Listen, one day you're gonna come in and it's actually gonna be that. Mendelian inheritance was in accordance with Darwinism, which also supported both Mendel's and Darwin's stances. Okay, so Lamarckian versus, so this would be versus Mendelian. I don't know how you... Wow, I can spell Mendel. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is... Oh, I see what this is. This is the fucking... This is the DNA splitting and shit. Separate or segregate. Okay. Okay, I guess there's not a Wikipedia article for this, but... That... Oh, here we go. Why is it all the way down at the bottom? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, oh yeah, these like Punnett squares. I remember these. I used to love making those. Sounds like a bunch of Lamarcky to me. Welcome in, Freddy. You'd rolled the genetic lottery and Darwin said that if you lost, you got fucked. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's get back. Let's get, yo, DJ Che. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. Yo, Boy Meets Minnie. How's it going? Thank you so much, DJ Che. I really appreciate it. For anyone who doesn't really know me, I'm Ice Beans. Yo, Gidiox, how's it going, Gidiox? I'm Ice Beans, Ice_Beans on Twitch. I usually do React stuff, and I do some gaming on Sundays now. I've been playing Pokemon Leaf Green. Oh, Bilderberg is here. Okay, this is a good stream then. Yeah. Yeah, we have some hemers in here. We have a bit of everyone in here now. But yeah, we're just watching a video on transvestigations where people kind of like look at pictures and surmise whether they're trans or not. And we kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole about like genetics. So that's been interesting. And now we're probably going to get back to the video now. But thank you so much for the follow, DJ Che. I'm going to have to remember it here. Let me do that right now. Thank you so much for the follow. If any of y'all are not following me, please consider hitting that follow button. It's free. But all right, let's get back into it.
Evaluations and all sorts of stuff.
Hold on, Ice. Twitch is giving me a fucking Photoshop commercial. No, Oscar.
Began expressing anxiety that I might have something called Marfan syndrome.
It is September.
Marfan syndrome is a genetic condition that affects connective tissue inside the body, and it can lead to a lot of various symptoms, such as being very tall, which I am, hypermobility in your joints, which I do have.
Oh no!
And it can also lead to increased rates of depression, which I also have.
Triple kill!
There are many other symptoms here, and basically I have most of them. But the most dangerous one, and the reason why they really wanted to check it if I really had it, is because it can lead to heart conditions.
Jeez.
And I have kind of a weak heart. So, for months, my doctors basically told me that because I check basically every single symptom on the box, I can basically live my life as if I have Marfan syndrome. Until some point in the future when they'll do
Bilderberg, thanks so much for the gifted sub to DJ Che. Is this a trans male to female? Yes, I believe so. Or at least, that's what she's... Oh, no, wait, she said she was trans. So yes. But yes, thank you so much for the sub, Bilderberg. I should get a sub bar up at some point. I've been wanting a like a mic boom arm. So I need to start saving up for that. Mia is awesome. This is the first time I've ever watched a video of hers, and I like it so far. Waxing philosophical. Jesus, I can say words today.
Do a genetic screening for formality's sake. But that genetic screening eventually happens. And it turns out that I don't have it. What?
Yo, Wildcat Snort, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Typically, I had signs of Marfan syndrome that I actually didn't have. Now, this is obviously a pretty niche example, but the point here is that people can develop in ways that don't look like their genetic makeup should make one look like. Another example here might be identical twins who have radically different skin color, even though they are genetically identical. All of this means that there are some physical characteristics that mostly overlap with the expectations from genetics, but not all the time. There are women who, for lack of a better term, look more manly than other women. Mm-hmm. There are men who look a bit more womanly than other men, who don't have intersex conditions, who are fully genetically this biological sex that they say they are, but who still look
Thanks,
very,
Wildcat.
very
Thanks for
differently.
showing up.
This means
And
that from
thanks for the
purely
follow
a
again.
visual standpoint, there are no golden rules or methods for sex determination. Even in sports, what often happens is a deep visual inspection of the genitals and genetic screenings. But transvestigators
Wait, does that
aren't-
actually happen in like sports where they actually like inspect your genitals? Also, holy shit, the freeze frame. No! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's so funny. Do they actually do that in some states it's legal? Is that Bilderberg? Is that because of the whole kerfuffle about trans people, or is that just like in general? Blood tests are probably easier. I mean, I would imagine that blood tests are probably standard, right? But genital inspections, like, that's kind of gross. I don't care whether it's like I'm girly and small, respect it. Yeah, I mean, like, culture war. Oh, it is. So it is the culture war nonsense. Okay. God, blood tests are standard for sports. Well, yeah. See, but blood tests I kind of get though, right? Because, I mean, I know we all have a lot of different opinions about the whole trans people in sports thing, right? But like, if you have a, I think currently the state, if I'm remembering correctly, currently the standards are that there's like a testosterone limit that you can have if you're participating in women's sports, and if you like are above that limit, then you can't essentially compete or whatever. So, you know, according to that standard, getting a blood test makes sense, right? I don't know about this genital inspection thing, because of penis inspection day. Oh my god. Blood tests are standard for men's sports to ensure the participant is healthy to limit liability. Yeah, I mean, like, that makes sense to me. I'm fine with blood tests. It's weird because I'm fine with someone sticking a needle in, but, like, asking them to pull their pants down just seems way more invasive to me. But yeah, there's a bimodal distribution. Oh, okay. The needle is also to make sure they're not doping, which is illegal. Yeah, that too, right? So that's why I think that I'm okay. I'm more okay with the needle than the. What if you removed your penis not because you're trans, but to become more aerodynamic? Can you still compete in the male category? Well, Rabbit, not according to some states that have the genital inspections, right? Like, if you've removed... Okay, listen. If you've removed your penis because you truly believe that it's gonna make you more aerodynamic, and you did that knowing which state that you're in, then I'm sorry, that's on you. Okay? You removed your penis for nothing. You better think about moving to a different state altogether, okay? To make the penis removal worth it. Jesus Christ.
Out here genetically screening everyone. They're just looking. And from a purely rational way, there is no way to do a sex determination that way. But that hasn't stopped them from trying. The most common argument has to do with something called Q angles. It's the angle form.
Q angles. Oh, we saw this earlier.
Muscles and the patella tendon. Women typically have a higher angle and men have a lower one. Another common
Take it off
point of
again, put it
analysis
back on.
has to do with clavicles. If you have a straight clavicle, you're a man. If you have angled clavicles, you're a woman. Same thing goes for the neck. If you have a sloping neck, that means you're a woman. If you have a straight neck, that means you're a man.
Or broad shoulders, and they tend to be wide enough to fit 3 of his heads across. Females, on the other hand, our shoulders are more narrow, and you can generally fit about 2.5 or less of our heads next to each other across our shoulders.
They also check out the
Okay, wait,
fingers.
hold on. All right, I gotta know now, because I have very wide shoulders, right? I gotta know, am I, hold on, I'm actually gonna do this. You're gonna take a screenshot of this. I have to do this while not looking at myself, not looking at the thing. All right. All right, we're doing a transvestigation right now. All right, chat. Here, we're gonna keep this
Your
playing.
index finger is shorter than your pointer finger, you're a man. They also use things like the prominence of your brow ridge, your hairline, all sorts of vaguely sexed physical characteristics that they can analyze. But by far, the most common one that has been promoted and used by Tywin herself has to do with the hip. You probably already know this. Women, on average, have wider and more flared hips than men do. And in these transvestigation circles, if you have straight hips that are narrow and don't flare, you are, without a doubt, 100% a man. They're so sure, in fact, that this is often referred to as the golden standard of sex determination. Because, of course, women have to have wide hips for carrying a child, for the delivery and production of life.
Welcome in, Kai Cord. We're doing
should be a
transvestigation.
It's worth mentioning here that many of the methods used aren't wrong necessarily. Brow ridges and clavicles and hips are things that do have a sexual characteristic to it. They are oftentimes different between men and women on average. These things do have a correlation to sexual genetics. But the mistake that they do is...
All right, chat. Wait, what do we got? What are we looking at? Am I a secret man? What did she say? She said... Oh, here we go. We're gonna listen to this again, okay?
Wide enough to fit 3 of his heads across. Females, on the other hand,
Stand.
our shoulders
Yes! Stand up!
are more narrow, and you can generally fit about 2.5 or less of our heads to
Okay.
each other across.
Alright,
Shoulders.
okay.
They also
Alright,
check out-
okay, hold on. Okay. So, I would say this is more than, well, this is, no, this is like still under the 2.5, right? This is still under the 2.5, right? Am I, what are we thinking here, chat? Am I trans or not? What are you gonna do with this? Ice Bean's transvestigation result inconclusive. Doesn't this also just depend on your head size? It's so stupid. And my shoulder, like, I would say not trans by this metric. Jesus. Yeah, alright. But the thing is that I would say I have pretty broad shoulders. Like, in comparison with my hips, my shoulders are almost broader than my hips. Okay, hold on. I just want to see how bad is this clip. Sorry, I know that this is such a hard stun lock. Oh, I'm muted. Hello? Secret man? God, what are we looking at? Am I a secret man? Amazing. Amazing. All right. Okay. Also, I'm gonna skip forward a bit.
By far, the most common one that has been promoted and used by Tywin herself has to do with the hip. You probably already know this. Women, on average, have wider and more flared hips.
I'm just gonna add it to my
than
clip
men
collection.
do.
Amazing.
And in these transvestigation circles, if you have straight hips that are narrow and don't flare, you are, without a doubt, 100% a man. They're so sure, in fact, that this is often referred to as the golden standard of sex determination. Because, of course,
Jeez.
women have to have wide hips for carrying a child, for the delivery and production of life.
Sex should be sacred.
It's worth mentioning here
Sex should
that
be
many
sacred.
of the methods used aren't wrong necessarily. Brow ridges and clavicles and hips are things that do have a sexual characteristic to it. They are oftentimes different between men and women on average. These things do have a correlation to sexual genetics, but the mistake that they do is assume that that's a black and white binary with literally no overlap whatsoever. You either have all the characteristics of a woman or you are a man. But unfortunately, that's basically as scientific as most of these people get. A lot of the time, the majority of the time,
not scientific at all,
it's mostly
basically.
just down to vibes, gut feelings. Because in the psychology of a lot of people in this theory, you will instinctively know just by looking. You don't even have to do all this advanced science or weird Q angle
So
analysis.
obvious, yeah.
Just by looking.
All right,
you
bye,
know the
Shadowrunner
truth.
on Twitch. Thanks
Basically
for stopping
boils down
by.
to, well, you're not feminine enough.
Jennifer Maniston, okay? These famous.
Oh, also, what is the Wick shit show that's supposed to happen? I saw that Lona Box was gonna be on. Here we're gonna do. Sorry once again for the stun lock, but I just want to see what the panel is about. Free speech and Jordan Peterson? Fuck. The one day that I stream. Oh, and Viv is on. It's Cat Viv. Well, I will be watching this later. Oh, I see Testes being a Wick frog as usual. Well, we will come back to that. Viv is pretty fucking based. Viv is like one of my favorite people to see on Twitch, because I don't know. It's so funny. I saw her. I know she can be pretty unhinged sometimes, but I remember this was one of the things that I actually drew me to him in the first place. I caught this was one of the first times that I caught a heme stream when it was live, when he was streaming at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, and he was talking to Viv, and I remember he was talking to Viv, and he was actually talking to Viv like a normal human being, and this was around the same time that Viv was on a lot of panels and being a shouty person and all that, and everyone was treating her like shit, which, you can have an opinion on that. But it was nice to see someone actually talking to Viv like a normal person. So that's actually what kind of drew me, one of the things that drew me to the heme community. So ever since then, especially when I see Cat Viv, yeah, no, I think I remember seeing that one panel, and it was about Nazi doxing lists, and so yeah, I do remember the whole fight. But yeah, Cat Viv is great. I like Cat Viv. I like seeing Viv on whenever she comes on and talks to Beckett. And it's just nice, I don't know. It's nice seeing I know she's got very strong opinions, but it's nice seeing people treat other people like human beings. And yeah, heme is weird like that. True. All right, we're just gonna leave that. We're just gonna leave this up, and we're gonna do that. All right, let's get back to it.
Celebrities.
Jennifer
these
Maniston.
Fantasy girls that you've been lusting after are really chicks with dicks, okay?
In trans terminology,
Oh damn,
you could
chicks with
say
dicks.
that the people that they examine don't pass, and that's enough evidence. This even applies to historical characters, not even people who are alive today, because as part of this conspiracy theory, the inverted
Yo,
cabal
Lysix,
worshipping
1, 2, 3,
Baphomet
4, 5. Thanks so
have
much for the
been
follow.
around for
I appreciate it.
centuries. This is not a recent phenomenon. For thousands of years, we as a society have been controlled by the transes. This means that every president.
Lysix, what do you mean by agree with transgender people? I mean, I believe that they exist and they're not lying about their existence.
Let's we're gonna.
If that makes sense. Do you agree with my pizza takes? No, Argy. I don't have to agree with your pizza takes to believe in you. I mean, I don't see the agree with sussies. I guess I don't see the if you're a man, you're a man, you can't do it. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can believe that, but I don't know what to say to you apart from that, you know? Like, if you. I guess my question to you is, like, how are you gonna treat people when you actually meet them? It's very easy to say all this stuff online. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the I don't know what the point is in saying in denying it. Like, what are you trying to achieve? If they ask me, I'll tell them. But the thing is that they're not asking, right? They're not asking. And to be fair, you're the one who came into my stream and is saying your opinion on it. So it kind of does seem like it's more to provoke a reaction than it is a personally held belief of yours. Because, for example, I know people who are actual transphobes, right? Like, they know about trans people, they know, like, all the arguments, and they still don't agree with them and are transphobic, but who still agree that calling someone by their preferred pronouns is more or less, like, the most, like, socially justifiable thing to do, and does not treat trans people like shit. Do you guys agree with trans people going to the Olympics? Well, I guess that depends. I think that's a more complicated topic that different people have different views on. So I guess when you say, do you guys agree? I guess I would have to know what you mean who you mean specifically, if you're talking about me or just like in general. Also, I'm gonna let this stun lock go on for. I'm gonna set a timer. It's gonna go on for a maximum 2 more minutes. But yeah, I agree with Urgi that it's like trans people have been in the Olympics for a while now. How hasn't it caused any issues? Well, has it caused any issues? Because all the examples that I see about not just Olympics, but just transgender people in sports have been like tiny edge cases. And like the percentage of trans athletes are actually really small. And also a lot of people who bring this up will talk about only like trans women. They never seem to talk about trans men. And I want to know why. Men are biologically stronger than women. It's absolutely unfair. That is wrong on a couple different levels. Like, in general, they can be stronger. Yes, in general. But like, if you bring me a strong man, I could probably find you a stronger woman. That doesn't mean that women, like, I don't see. Yeah. And again, like, if you're gonna convince me of this topic, if you're gonna convince me that like trans people in sports is bad, then you're gonna have to show me examples that involve trans men, not trans women. If you bring me the strongest man versus the strongest woman, there's absolutely no man the way the woman is gonna win. Yeah, but that's not how sports works. We don't get the strongest man versus the strongest woman. And in any case, with the rules that we already have, like the rules that the Olympics already have, right? Like, you don't just let men who are just, oh, here's the timer. I'm gonna finish my point, and then we're gonna keep moving on, okay? The thing is, with our rules, you can't just jump in as a trans person, a newly transitioned person, and compete. You have to meet certain standards. Usually these standards are that they've been on, they've been transitioning for a while, right? And by then, like, those hormones have taken their effect. Or the absence of things like testosterone have taken their effect. So we can certainly talk about how that system can be problematic. We can certainly talk about how that system absolutely needs more, like, scrutiny. Sure. That's fine. We can talk about how to make sure that it's fair, that sports are fair not only for cis kids, but also trans kids. Yeah, we can talk about that. But if you come in and you're saying it's wrong because they're trans, then I don't know, like, you're hitting a dead end. Okay? Alright, we're gonna move on. Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
President, every first lady, every high-ranking politician, every famous actor throughout all of world history has been trans, including Hitler, Stalin, Mao, Churchill, Roosevelt.
All right, let's chill out a bit.
Everyone is trans.
This is Martha Washington, okay? There is nothing feminine about that, okay?
But I should say, First Ladies of the United States do have a disproportionate amount of focus in the question of historical.
Yo, thank you so much for the follow, Vaccine Philosophical. I swear I'll get that one day.
We need to go back to Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is oftentimes the target of this conspiracy.
Okay, I'm pausing for just one more second to just, like, point out what Waxing said. I'm just gonna call you Waxing for right now because I'm gonna fuck up saying your name every single time. No one wants to take on all the hell and abuse of existing as a trans person in a transphobic society just to do better in some sport. Yeah, and I think that some people, when they talk about this stuff, they assume that it's just like, oh, I'm a woman now, I get to participate in the sport, and I get to be the best of my category. That's bullshit. I'm not saying that you'll never find an example of someone who does it for that reason, right? I'm not gonna say that because inevitably there's going to be at least one person in the world who does it, right? But you have to look at all of the case. First of all, you have to look at all the cases. You have to look at what people have to actually go through to be accepted as a trans, like, a person who's now competing in the other gender sport. I do agree with that guy's sports take, though. Look, Pars, I think my thing is that, like, I'm not necessarily even, like, again, like I said, I think sports in particular is a very specific issue, right? You can have that take and still not come across as a complete asshole. I don't know. There's certainly room to talk about this, and I'm not saying that that's a problem for me. It does depend on how you bring it. And again, we can have that discussion. I would like to have the discussion, like, knowing all the facts. Like, I don't know all the facts, for one thing. I'd also want to know, like, from someone who actually knows more than me, right? Because, again, I'm not an expert on this stuff, right? I haven't even read all of the, like, I don't even know all of the Olympics, like, their rules and regulations, right? I think sports is just such a huge can of worms that can be unpacked. Like, it can be unpacked. But if you have a principled stance on it that stems out of, I don't like trans people, then you're not gonna get anywhere. Like, we've had so many debates on women's sports at this point, right? We could leave, we could leave the discussion of the sports stuff until we stop the attempted trans genocide. Just saying, yeah, DJ Che, I think that, like, yes and no. I think that I think that there are more important things to focus on as far as like trans issues are concerned. But if you speak to like people who are transphobes in real life, they're gonna bring this up, right? Like it's gonna be one of the big things that they bring up. And you have to know how to more or less deal with them, right? And I'm not saying even like dunk on them. I'm just saying you have to know a little bit of what the other side is using as their rhetoric. How these nerds only started caring about women's sports when it's about trans people participating. Yeah, that's another complaint as well, right? Like, why the fuck do they like women's sports? The biggest ethical issue with regards to trans participation in sports is the opportunity for those trans kids to get bullied and or abused. I mean, it's not a nice world for trans people. I think that's the bottom line. And going back to what Waxing said, I don't know. I want to see women pissed off at trans people, and I want to see trans men humiliated by men. Like, I don't know. Parse, and yeah, that's the reason why I personally don't think of you in this category, Parse. Like, even William, right? We all know what William of Orange's stance on trans people are, right? But, like, he's the person that I know who doesn't agree with all of that, but still agrees to treat people like human beings, and still calls people by the pronoun that they want to be called. And wasn't William for trans women in women's sports? Was he? I wouldn't really. I don't know. I don't know about his sports take. I know his trans sports take, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'd take 1,000 Williams over like one person who, I don't know, who like, basically, like, William's kind of like he's further along the scale than most like stereotypical transphobes, right? Because he's at least agreeing, even if he doesn't agree with the concept, he's agreeing that, like, it's more societally, not expeditious, but, like, what's the word? Efficient? To just treat trans people like trans people. Like people. If a trans woman takes over women's sports, it will make the other women work harder, so the sport will improve. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, let's get off this stun lock.
Conspiracy theory, often seen as the first that people were
I'm almost out of boba pearls.
And one of the more obvious ones, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, Michelle, you don't deserve this. Your husband deserves to be tried in an international court, but you don't deserve this. There's a few pictures of Michelle that are often brought out as evidence that something's going on.
I'm almost out of wine.
Pictures of her are usually the gateway.
I have a bottle of wine somewhere in the closet.
It's the first one that
you can come get it from me.
Well, hold on.
Something doesn't look right.
People think that her real name is Michael, and
the fuck?
that Obama, if he's not trans, is then gay. And while this started with a joke from Joan Rivers, it now has evolved into a life of its own. A life that is more based in just pure racism. Because in these circles, there is a strong racial component. The standards presented here are obviously impossible for anyone to meet, because no one is a perfect carbon copy of the ideal woman or man. But the standards that are provided are often biased in favor of white women. A lot of the people who are transvestigated are often black, disproportionately so, I would say.
Well,
often
that's problematic.
Compared to being quarterbacks or elite athletes with a lot of muscle that they can just barely contain within their feminine outfits. Current female stars.
Oh no.
Why are they all like they're just black? It's just black women.
Not
people
according
who
to
are
the
involved in these conspiracy theories
transvestigators.
are extraordinarily bigoted, not just against gay people and trans people, but against everyone who doesn't fit their very, very narrow worldview of how a person should be. The structure around the conspiracy theory is highly targeted towards LGBT people, but also black people, the Jews, everyone.
Jews.
Basically any group that you can come up with that isn't white and Christian. We'll get back to the Christianity. But these people don't just target people who are rich and famous and powerful. They are the most common ones because they're kind of obsessed with finding pictures on the internet, and if you're not famous, odds are you're not going to have pictures on the internet. But sometimes people will post pictures that they've taken of strangers in the street, on the bus, in the
Jeez.
subway, people just in their regular lives, and asking other people to transvestigate them. The default belief is that the world at large is dominated by these inverts doing their satanic bidding, but that on the local level you're mostly safe. That's
I
why
almost
you
forgot
and your
about the
friends and
inverts.
family haven't actually encountered any of these inverts yourself. But some people have become so skeptical of the idea that anyone would be who they claim to be that they start seeing inverts everywhere. Some people are terrified that their local school council has been infiltrated by the inverts.
Wait, what? There's the problem of local tranme. Oh no! I almost said it! Fuck! Oh my fucking god. Alright. Fucking hell. I did not know. Okay, Jesus. Alright, Mr. Yudesko said governors are, but people, god damn, that's a slur.
Targeting their children. That their library staff.
Gee,
has
I
been
didn't
infiltrated
almost
by
say
the
it.
inverts,
No, don't clip
culling
it.
information
Do not
that
clip
is
it,
true
Frozen
and
Lunkin,
just, and
Jesus
replacing it with
Christ.
perverse propaganda. For some people, it goes to the
God
extreme
damn,
level
seriously,
that
I full on said it.
everyone
I'm
that they
sorry.
see is a
Okay,
secret.
that the K is what caught me, okay? Because I was like, okay, no, I'm not explaining. I'm not digging the hole.
Everyone around
Jesus
them
Christ.
isn't actually a real person, but instead a demonic
God
entity
damn.
that has been inverted and just looks like a real person. They have been replaced by the inverts and the transes. These people have basically become so skeptical of the people around them that they can't trust anything that anyone else says, for very, very few exceptions. This, I think, says something interesting philosophically. And this is why I want to talk very quickly about solipsism. Let's step back for a moment.
Solipsism?
And have a little
That
bit of a
sounds like a
think.
philosophy thing.
How do you know that other people exist? Or even the world itself? Picture, for example, that your brain might be in a vat and some mad scientist has wired electrodes to all the parts of your brain, and a highly advanced supercomputer is actually stimulating your brain to experience a complete world. How do you know
We don't,
that that's not
yeah.
actually happening right now? The things around you might just be impressions on your brain made by the supercomputer. In fact, how do you even know that you are real? Your own consciousness. If you're a brain in a vat, you might be having a completely normal life with a normal family, but none of it would be real. You'd just be a brain in a vat. The point of this perspective is to point out that from the perspective of the brain, there is no way to know. But you can be sure of one thing. Solipsism is the philosophy of skepticism, mostly proposed and made famous by René Descartes. Descartes argues that doubt needs to be a foundational and important aspect of how we run our lives and think philosophically. Because he argued that a lot of various arguments can be undermined and doubted. A lot of sources of knowledge might be taken for granted, but might actually be erroneous, even to the point of our own senses. You may have heard a friend speak when in actuality was a stranger. You may have seen your friend walk across the bus station, and you may have started waving to them, only to see that they were actually not your friend, and now you're just waving to a complete stranger. And Descartes actually has a similar theory as the brain in a vat thing, but he talks about it in terms of his time.
Imagine that an evil demon of utmost power and cunning,
Okay.
has employed all
Alright,
his energies
Descartes.
in order to fucking bin Laurie. I shall think that the sky, the air, the earth, colours, shapes, sounds, and all external things are merely the delusions of dreams which he has devised to ensnare my judgment. I shall consider myself as not having hands, or eyes, or flesh, or blood, or senses, but as falsely believing that I have all these things.
Descartes argues that since you cannot be sure of
Real quick, if you can note seriously, how can you know what others exist at all? I don't remember what this is specifically called, but I kind of subscribe to the belief that, like, I mean, this is an interesting problem to ponder, but I kind of go with the you have to make at least one assumption, right? Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. I think that's what Bilderberg meant when you said it's totally moot, right? Like basal assumptions, right? I don't know who came up with that, but I kind of believe that you have to believe that. Like, we kind of do. That's what we do, right? Not that skepticism isn't, like, valuable in some cases, but, I don't know. You have to, like, we're not gonna go anywhere. Like, if you're a brain in a vat, like, I guess so what, right? But maybe I'm also thinking about this wrong.
any of these things, you cannot take them for granted. The only thing you can be sure about is your own thoughts. But the action of having the thoughts, you must exist. And this is where we get the term, I think, therefore I am. The only thing you can be completely 100% sure of is the fact that you are thinking. That is the foundation to which you can build other types of knowledge. But that is the only foundational truth that exists to him. And the thing is, if you are a brain in a vat, or a demon is making a huge illusion for you, what does it matter? Would it change the way that you interact with the world? Would it change the way that you interact with other people? And if nothing changes, does it really matter? And solipsism as a philosophy is present in a lot of other philosophies, as it should. The idea of criticizing and having doubt and being skeptical of the world around you is something that I think is very foundational in how we can be people in the world. But you shouldn't assume that you are a brain in a vat, that a demon is in fact controlling your every senses. You shouldn't live your life as if that was the case, assuming that because it's a possibility and you can't be sure of anything, then you have to be the brain in the vat. That just makes no sense. But I think that this is what has happened to a lot of transvestigators. They think that the only people that they can be sure are real people are the people that they have met in real life, the people that they've interacted with, the people that they have a close connection to.
Interesting.
And that everyone else might be fake. Maybe not fake in the sense that a demon is making your brain think something, or that a mad scientist has hooked you up to a supercomputer, but that some sort of demon has...
I'm not sure I'm believing this trans stuff, but the suicide rate seems high. What do you mean, Melanie? Like this specific transvestigation stuff?
Has replaced a lot of people in your life. Or primarily
or like
the world. Instead
the
of
reasoning for why they
I
are
am, cognito ergo sum, they are I am, therefore I sex. Which I think tracks with how a lot of people here approach
the title might be bringing in some interesting people.
If
yeah,
you can't confirm
well, Melanie has been here before,
person and not an invert, then you have to assume that they are one. There's a condition here that I want to
I'm
quickly
glad I'm
mention
not in the politics section.
Solipsism syndrome. Solipsism syndrome is a psychological condition that is a type of delusion. And I don't mean that in a cruel sense, I mean that in a literal sense. It can cause a person to believe that everyone else in the real world isn't actually real. That they are, in fact, a brain in a jar. But this is not a black and white binary. People can be affected by this in gradients. The syndrome most often affects people in isolation, severe isolation. But the people who are involved in transvestigation are isolated themselves, but in a slightly different way. Cult survivor Danielle Young writes about cults and how they spread on the internet. She writes, "In traditional cults, the walls keep the world out, keep you in, because isolation is such a big part of programming. AI is the new commune wall. It keeps you in with your like-minded people, and it's almost impossible to get out." In addition to this, there's also an assumption of obviousness. The people who are involved in these Facebook groups primarily, and in the comments of YouTube videos that talk about transvestigation, there will be this air of like, well, of course the people that you bring up are trans. This person is obviously a trans. This person is obvious an MTF. It's so plain everyone could see it. But can you? I can't. These groups will spend very little time actually confirming their deductions and just going from these initial impressions of seeing a person's body or face one time. If they show multiple pictures of a person to be investigated, they're almost always in bad positions or variations of the same event. Well, hold on.
Okay, also, real quick, I've always like been horribly like, I need to actually look this up or ask once and for all, okay? What is it that, okay, here, I'm just gonna look it up, okay? Is it that only biological males have Adam's apple? Adam's apples? Oh god, Adam's apple. Everyone has this cartilage, but it's not always visible. Can female get Adam's? They tend to be more prominent in males, okay. Here we go. You know, the cleaning lady that I have has said now that Trudeau has divorced, he's gonna come out as trans. Oh my god. Look, Trudeau can do whatever he wants, okay? Oh, interesting. Grows in science mainly with men. So it's not that if you have an Adam's apple, it is a surefire sign or like a biological marker or something. Alright, got it.
Not every person looks the same in every fucking photograph, which is true. But this is explained away by the fact that, of course, we as inverts are aware that people will want to spot us and see who we are. Inverts will hide their true identity from the general public by hiding parts of their body, by walking in certain ways, changing their voice, undergoing surgery, things like that. And it's because of this that sometimes their transvestigations don't hold up each and every time. A person that you might identify as a man might not have all the traits that you would
that makes sense,
associate with a man, but the only reason that you can't find them is because they're hiding it. They're actually hiding the truth by walking differently. So in this picture, you can't see their dick. In some of these pictures, well, you know, they're holding their arm over their crotch, so you can't see their dick there either. The consequence here is that there are only very, very narrow
Which is really funny when they're talking about like paparazzi photos, right?
Womanhood. But I think that there's a reason why they do this analysis in the first place. That has nothing really to do with demons or trans people, but that has all to do with insecurity.
Projection, yep. Yo, Kilo, how's it going? Welcome in.
Hi, everyone. You can talk a lot about various psychological
What is a transvestigation, though? Well, this is where you have people who have YouTube channels and Facebook groups and just like places where they congregate and look at pictures of celebrities and just random people and speculate on whether they're trans or not. And they usually, it's got some surprisingly familiar ties to some conspiracy theories. Oh, hold on, my chat's not updating. Hello? Oh, yeah, here we go. What happened to that Iran video I sent last time I was here? I have not gotten a chance to look at that, JDox, but the next time we do some more atheism or like just religious content in general, we will look at it. Because I do want to see some cringy atheist, like, you know, some cringe from the atheism side, you know, just for fun. But yes, Kilo, that is what a transvestigation is. It's got some funny ties. It's got some like ties to like is it red pill or is it just like the stuff with the angles and like the face shape and the bone structure and all that. Yeah, like all of that. It's got some ties in there. There was talk about like a Q angle here. I'm gonna 3144. Okay. Oh wait, did it not show like the actual? Here we go. So you can tell if a woman is a woman because of the Q angle, and like your clavicles, and apparently like your face. If your shoulders are 2.5 or less head widths, then you're a woman, and if it's like about 3 heads, then you're a man. TTTT. Oh, wait a second, Ergi, I have heard of that. That's a subreddit, isn't it? Has anyone tied this to butts? Well, we did get a shot of like Donald Trump earlier, where they think that Donald Trump even is a woman. I wish I could have seen where exactly that screenshot is, because that was a pretty. Oh wait, no, maybe not. I'll have to look for it later, but they even speculate they don't like Trump in general. Why do we need to know what everyone's sexual organs are? Mushroom penis is a clit, an end clit. Oh my god. It's like 90% trans people. So it's a 4chan. Okay. I read in a science magazine that on the back of a man's head is a bumpy thing. All men have it. If you're a woman, it's there. What? 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 What's it called? Okay, alright, where was I? Fuck. Was I, like, here, around here? I think I was? Question mark?
Slices.
Also, welcome in, female eunuch.
Acceptable womanhood.
I can say
But
words, female
think
eunuchs.
that there's a reason why they do this analysis in the first place.
We're learning
It
about
has nothing really to do
transvestigators.
with demons or trans people, but that has all to do with insecurity.
My BF has it.
Hi everyone. You can talk a lot about various psychological conditions or
It is true.
about
Well, I don't know what it's
philosophical
called.
doubt or
Anyone knows what
skepticism.
it's
But
called?
I think the truth here is much, much simpler. Most of the people who are involved in this type of conspiracy theory posting are just deeply insecure about their own bodies and sexuality. While there's a pretty equal vibe on gender, depending on who's posting in these Facebook groups, most of the people who are most famous for doing so are women who compare the bodies of inverts with their own bodies.
What she's
A
doing
video
is
detailing
haram.
how a
It is
person might be an
true.
invert might not look too dissimilar from the way that I look right now. A person who is basically clad off, showing as much skin as possible in order to show off their natural feminine beauty. And for a lot of men, I think it's more to do with sexuality, affirming that the people who they're attracted to are the most women who ever wummed. Basically, they want to make sure that they are the most heterosexual person that has ever existed. And sexuality does seem to be front and center in a lot of these communities. The people who comment on Taiwan's videos are oftentimes doing so in a weirdly flirtatious way. Basically saying that all of the people that you've shown off, they're not really attractive. They're not really sexy.
Real quick. Occipital bun? That's such a funny word for it. I'm thinking of like a bunny now. Occipital spur. Indian hook. Okay. Neanderthals. Thanks, Neanderthals. Occipital bun. Okay. Type 1, smooth. Type 2, crest form. And type 3, spine form. type 1 has been found to be more common in women, while type 3 is more common in men. Alright. Alright, chat, I want you to type 1 if you would like a smooth, not whether you have it. Do you want 1 for smooth, 2 for crest, or 3 for spine? Okay, go. What do you want? Now I want to know what I have. What do I have? I guess I don't feel anything. Well, no, I want the crest form. Jeez. That sounds so much more fun. Expands the range of symptoms. Wait, am I supposed to be listening? Okay, I see. Occipital bun on a modern human male. Interesting. I have a smooth bun. So so even this says it's not necessarily like exclusive. It's just that it's more common. The face when my occipital bun passes. I guess this is like the thing too. Is like even if this were okay. I think, and this is what Mia is saying as well, I believe. Even if there were a thing that were like 100%, you know, this makes you a male, that still doesn't mean that having it is, I don't know. Like, well, actually, I guess she doesn't really say that, but I guess it also depends on, this is a more biological take on it, rather than, like, gender, right? I have a bump on the back of my noggin, but I assumed it was from being dropped as a baby. This is very good news. Imagine having occipital bun dysphoria. Couldn't be me. I mean, look, if you have a weirdly shaped head and you're getting made fun of it, you have a weirdly shaped head, okay? And you're getting made fun of it. Didn't Mr. Mooten have a dent in his head? Am I mistaken? Dent. And there's an emote made of this man. Okay? Always dent. So, what the fuck? I believe it is from his, Mr. Mooten, enjoyers in chat, if you need to speak up and let us know whether this, it was indeed caused by his headphones. Or if he just had that. Almost nothing in nature adheres to absolutes. They're always outliers. True, waxing. Absolutely. But yeah, I've heard of this. This is an emote. It's temporary. Okay, so Bilderberg, was it caused by his headphones though? Because that's the most important part. Let's continue.
See people. But you are Tywin.
Yes? Oh my god.
Oh,
okay.
Tywin.
Thank you.
You're so sexy female.
I respect that. Even admire it.
What I think is happening here is projection. Projection is one of those terms that you hear thrown around a lot, but that almost no one actually knows what they really mean. Well, as someone who took one term of psychology in uni and failed it, I'm going to tell you. Projection is the phenomenon of shifting negative traits or blame from yourself to someone else. Subconsciously seeing the flaws in yourself in someone else. It means to shift the blame for internal discomfort to an external source. You're not insecure about the way you look. Everyone else is just ugly. It's a theory mostly developed by cigar suckers.
Ice Beans, are you in college? No, I'm not.
But it's been around in a lot of other psychological
I'm done with college.
before him. Freud argues that it can manifest itself as a cheating wife
accusing
her husband of cheating on her. Or when those who feel compulsions to steal fear that they're going to be stolen from themselves. In terms of appearance,
oh, beans? Wait, did they say beans?
About traits about their own
did that
body.
man just say beans? Oh, beans, they're gonna get my money bag. Jesus, this is hilarious. I kind of want this as like a, hold on. I want a little snippy. Maybe I'll turn this into something, like some kind of meme. Beans mentioned. Yeah, I know. Jeez, stop. Go away. Alright.
In terms of appearance, it can manifest as people being insecure about traits about their own body, who then accuse others of having that trait, and that trait being negative. If a person goes around telling other people that they're fat all the time, they're most likely insecure about being fat themselves. And while most of the things that he's ever said are kind of bullshit, I do think that he's onto something here. I do think that a lot of people have some sort of internal insecurity, and they believe that other people have the flaw that you're concerned about. If I was to be a complete asshole, I could do a transvestigation
Everyone who calls me
on
fat is
Tywin
skinny, though.
Lannister and say that by her own metrics, she should be classified as a man. Projection often happens in narcissistic personality disorder or BPD, but it can happen to anyone. Everyone basically can do it like a little bit, and it happens most often when people are put through some sort of crisis. But not just a personal crisis. It can actually happen in political crises and other mainstream crises as well. Projection is a defense mechanism, and what it does is it defends you against your own insecurities, your own self-doubt, by basically saying that you are perfect. It's everyone else that's the problem. Usually the impulse to do that is kept in check. We have self-reflection and self-insight. But during a personal crisis, that can be overridden. And suddenly you can start seeing problems everywhere else except with yourself. Problems that, to be fair, might not even be real problems, but only problems that you think are problems. And I think they do it because they see some part of the faces and bodies of celebrities in themselves, and it gives them so much internal anguish.
I'm gonna try telling them they're just insecure and see how that works.
That they have no way to cope with that. They can't accept the fact that
I mean, look, okay, to be honest though, I'm sure that in a way they are insecure, right? Not insecure, they're more like afraid of themselves becoming fat, right? And sometimes that's why you get people who are skinny who will tell a fat person, like, or make fun of a fat person, and like, you know, I mean, that's kind of what fat phobia is, right? They're scared of being fat. Not scared. They really don't want to be fat.
Can be successful and powerful and attractive with a trait
especially the fat
they
person is
have
comfortable with their own fatness,
wrong,
right?
Impure.
And so that kind of real quick, that kind of goes against their view, like, well, okay, you should be ashamed of being fat. Why are you not ashamed of being fat? Like, you know, and well, aren't you disgusting for not being ashamed? That sort of thinking. But I'm also not really one to speak on fatness in general.
Wrongly. And so they believe that the only reason that they can get away with it is because they're really liars. And projection can reinforce that negative emotion because you don't have to deal with it. In fact, it gives you pleasure to be able to vent and be angry at that discomfortable feeling against someone else. And therefore, that negative emotion can go stronger.
What do you mean? Aren't you an overweight Discord moderator? Oh, true. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that.
Perfectly attractive people in the world and start saying that they have man face. I think this is another reason why a lot of transvestigators don't go super into the reasoning why people become trans, why people become inverts, why they sell their soul to the devil for some vague sense of success.
Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by, Waxing. I'm really glad you did. I hope you come by again. And thank you. Hopefully it'll be a good rest of stream. I appreciate it. But yeah, have a great evening. But yes, Grackle, some people are just assholes.
Why would the world operate like this? It doesn't really matter to them, because it's not really about that. It's more about reinforcing their own very outdated self-image. And I also think it's a reason why they don't actually talk too much about actual real-life trans people. Most of the time, they talk about cis women. But hello, the dolls are right here, and we're ample opportunity to make fun of. Where can you make fun of me? In fact, they only really talk about real-life trans people if they've been in the media a significant amount, if they're on people's minds.
Interesting.
And especially if that trans person has been viewed as attractive. A while ago, Elliot Page
Interesting.
came out as trans. Good for him. We stand. And during that time, a lot of people said, "Oh
Did you say we
shit, Elliot
stand?
got
That's
ripped
amazing.
and is hot as hell." It weirdly became a weird news story. And the
Oh
people
my
in the-
god, wait, Jordan Peterson would rather die than delete tweet. Oh, hilarious. What's the word? Foreshadowing, right? When did this video come out? That's so funny. When did this video come out? 11 months ago. That's amazing.
Transvestigation
go.
space got really uncomfortable by this. How can you demean and humiliate a person in your own mind by calling them trans if they're openly trans? Well, they have a solution for that, and that is to say that they're doubly trans.
Wait, what?
Elliot Page, they claim, is an MTFTM.
What? No.
A person who has transitioned twice. But they're not insecure about us.
No.
The heterosexual men in this space are not attracted to us. They know we're trans and immediately discard us. To
That's
them,
so
and
funny.
unfortunately to a lot of society, we are deeply unsexy individuals. Which is fine. You know, not everyone has to find us sexy. But it becomes the
Transgenderism
norm.
too.
It is not the norm to not want to be a
Transgenderception. Wasn't Elliot... What? Wasn't Elliot Page in that one too? This was before... No, this was after the first transition, but not before the second. I've never heard of this. Ready? Me neither. It's literally transception. Oh my god, that's so funny.
attracted to
That's a
occasional
twist I did not
supermodels.
predict.
Victoria's Secrets. In fact, I would say that the biggest determination whether or not they will see a person as trans or not is attractiveness. If people find a person
interesting.
attractive, odds are that they're not even going to be up for transvestigation in the first place.
What?
Every single picture that is posted in these transvestigation spaces are all from bad angles, bad lighting, from weird poses that people do, weird grimaces. Everyone takes bad photographs, including celebrities, and in some of them they look unattractive. Or they might just be old, something that makes these people completely unfuckable. And it seems to me that that seems to be the biggest indicator here. And I think this is why they often attack the attractiveness of these people rather than pointing out gendered traits. It's more important that a person is
Interesting.
looking ugly than as a person looking the other sex. But for many of these people, those two things are the same thing. Looking cross-sexed is by far the most unattractive thing in the world for some of these people. And it works very effectively as a way to discount the successes of famous or politically important people. Elliot Page isn't famous because he's a good actor and because he's done like LGBT activism. No, he is because he's an invert. Gary Brennan isn't actually smart as an archivist, it's the devil who has given him all those details.
Oh
In fact, this
no.
goes so far as to some people theorizing that some celebrities were replaced at some point in their life.
What
That they
the
used to
shit?
be real when they were young.
Here's
but
where
were
it goes
replaced at some
down the
point.
rabbit hole.
The differing line seems to be the point at which they stopped being successful.
Gary Brannon got
or
caught up in
attractive.
this. I don't know who that is.
These people want more than
Also,
anything.
okay, real quick, I was gonna try to wait it out, but I really do need a bio break. Brannon, I'll look it up in a second. Let me do this real quick. The guy she just mentioned. Oh, okay, gotcha, Ergie. All right, real quick. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You can get a chair stream for a hot second. Oh, this has been playing the whole time. Okay, cool. Tom Scott. I don't know who that is either, but I will find out. I'll be right back. Here, you can have... I have returned. I found something in the linen closet that was not supposed to be there. This one is not allowed in the linen closet. This one time got into the linen closet, fell asleep, and then about 2 hours into my stream, I heard like really loud banging. Talos emote when? I need to upload a Talos emote. Good point. But yeah, about 2 hours into a stream, I heard like this loud thumping, and it was just him like throwing his body against the door. Good boy. I mean, he's a bad boy. Some have even said he reminds them of a certain someone with a very specific mustache. The other cat is better. He really isn't. Mr. Bean's nose. Mr. Beans has experienced the awful tantrum that this guy throws when Mr. Beans wakes up early to go like into work and takes a shower first thing in the morning. This guy will sit outside the bathroom door and just yell straight up like meow, meow, meow. Literally just yelling, no particular reason, all because Mr. Beans dared to close the bathroom door. Dickhead? Yeah, he's a dickhead. He has a yeah, and the single test. Oh yeah, and that's the other story as well, where we took him in and realized when we took him in for his neutering that he had only one testicle, and the other one was missing. It's called Wanderhoden in German. But yeah, we had to do a fucking testosterone test on him to make sure that the other one wasn't just hiding. Is that normal in cats or rare? It's rare, Grackle, but not so rare that it isn't a known thing. It's called like, I'll figure out the name for it, but it was, hold on. Let's not search for this on stream, shall we? Here we go. You can tell I searched for this. Cryptorchidism? Wandering ball? No, it's, it's Wanderhoden. But yes, so we had to do a testosterone test on him to make sure that he didn't have like the other testicle hidden somewhere inside him, you know, which would be problematic. And they came back and they said that his testosterone levels are slightly higher than what a neutered male would be, but definitely under what an intact male would be. Welcome in, Testicle Johnson, just in time. We are, in fact, talking about testicles. Did you know 99% of calico cats are female? Isn't it because, like, male calico cats, like, they don't survive or something? Am I remembering that wrong? Excellent timing. We saw you frogging in Wix chat. We see you. Wick is having a rough panel. Oh, man. Is it a good panel to watch, do you think? Fuck. It's a mess. Muted. Alright. Professional streamer here. Okay, what is the premise of this conversation? I'm not still muted, am I? Okay, alright. Oh, Jesus. Welcome in, Turtle. I don't know if Testy's still here. Jordan Peterson losing his credentials for something on Twitter. Okay, yeah, I mean, I heard about that, but I guess, like, does anyone know what the actual, like, are they just, like, randomly just... Yes, you're still muted? No, I'm not, Turtle Messiah. Okay, I had heard that he has, essentially... Like, I've heard about the whole, like, he has to do a social media thingy, like a training thingy, in order to keep his license. Wait, what? No, I'm not, Turtle. You're gaslighting me. I see the light on my mic. I see the bar moving. Jesus. I can hop in VC and explain it all to you in 5 minutes if you like. Actually, Testy, yeah, I wouldn't mind, since we're already stun locked a bit. You can just give me an overview of what's going on in the panel. I mean, I know about Jordan Peterson, but not necessarily like what the panel is about. Here, let me hop in. Oh shit, there might be an issue with the volume being low, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, okay? We'll give it a shot. I gotta set my mic. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, I'm like right up to next to my mic. Is the volume okay?
I think it may be a little quiet for chat, but let me actually just turn myself down so that at least it's not.
Then the volume's just low for everybody.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, they can just deal with it. All right, go ahead. What's the panel on?
Yeah, so the panel is was initially supposed to be on Jordan Peterson. So I don't know if you're familiar with kind of what's happened. He's made a couple statements publicly now about it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it has to do with some of his past tweets. The crux of the issue is that he still calls himself a clinical psychologist, even though I believe it was in 2020 he stopped actively practicing. So the Ontario College of Psychologists basically kind of gave him like a warning, say, hey, like, you're not representing practice well because of some of his comments.
Right.
And that's what they're supposed to be discussing on the panel. What ended up happening, or I guess where they're at now, is it had something to do with like I think Jordan Peterson apparently made some comments publicly, which this has nothing to do with like what the dispute is about. But apparently he's made some comments publicly about he doesn't even think that adults should have access to gender affirming care.
Yep.
And so that got into like this discussion on puberty blockers. Viv and this other guy in the middle were going back and forth about like in Sweden how they've kind of restricted access to puberty blockers. They're sort of like looking at it again. So that's sort of where they're at right now. But yeah, that's like a very quick overview.
So then what, like, I guess what's the disagreement on as far as the panelists are concerned, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so it's essentially it's coming down to kind of like a free speech thing. It's like,
should you be allowed to say these things?
Yeah, exactly. And there's, I mean, I fall on the side of, like, I think it's more warranted that he potentially loses his license, because basically they're just asking him to like take like a social media course.
Right.
And he basically replied to their complaint saying he's already taken steps to address this. He has like his family and his friends and people close to him that are sort of like moderating his speech. So he didn't deny that he kind of broke the ethics rules.
Right.
He basically just kind of was like, I got this. Like, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And some of the stuff that he cited in reply was actually sort of used against him because part of the issue, I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast and it was some other podcast he was on. He refers to himself as a clinical psychologist, but he's no longer practicing clinical psychologist. So that's kind of how they're saying, like, you're sort of you're misrepresenting yourself now because you're not practicing.
Right.
But he made in the response to the complaint, he made this weird esoteric sort of argument that he is sort of practicing because of his like public persona, that
Right.
he's like helping millions of people or whatever. And
Okay.
it felt a little bit tongue in cheek, but that actually came back to kind of bite him in the ass because the things that they basically said that he was doing, that they asked him to stop doing, he didn't deny any of it. He just basically gave reasons as to why he was doing it. So
Right.
yeah, they were just they responded again. They were just like, this is insufficient, and they kind of gave him this ultimatum. So
Right. I'd heard about like the whole like thing that they basically are forcing it, not forcing, but like they're basically making him do this. I hadn't heard about that the whole like his justification coming back to bite him in the ass. So that'll all right. Maybe I'll watch this later when but
yeah, and I
I'm
have
assuming the
links to
chat is being spicy as usual.
Oh yeah, yeah. I could not be a streamer. I can't read chat. I can't do two things at once.
I mean, listen, you watch me, you know how stun locked I get just because I look at chat way too much.
That's fair.
But yeah, thanks for coming in and telling me about this. I don't think I've ever talked to you in person before. Not in
I
person,
think
but like whatever.
We spoke once.
Really?
Yeah. Who else was in here? I don't remember. We had like a very chill discussion once, but it was it's for like 20-30 minutes.
Okay, got it. Was it also about trans stuff? Do you remember?
You know what? I think it was.
Yeah, I think
Oh
that.
God, I'm gonna get a reputation now.
All right.
I
Don't you already have a reputation for doxing people?
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's open that rumor. Yeah, let's keep that going.
Yeah. All right, doxing and trans people. Good reputation to be building up.
Perfect. That's what I want to be associated with.
Jesus.
All right, I'll jump back in chat.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy lurking.
Yeah, we'll do. See ya.
See ya. All right. Now that we've got that 5-minute, the 5-minute overview. Never listen to chat. We are dumb, except for Leonard. Leonard's not dumb, but also I like my chat. Okay, sue me. All right, let's see if we can actually make it through the rest of this video.
Be horny on main, to express their sexuality in a way that they maybe don't
chill chat.
Otherwise. But I think that's the reason they use trans terminology.
Where people hate chat.
The recent rise and prominence of trans people in the public eye, I think, has led a lot of people to re-examine their own sexuality. I've had multiple people send me emails being like I'm straight, but like I would. And I'm like, okay. People who are so deeply entrenched to a simple version of their own sexuality that they can't even comprehend the idea of being attracted to someone with even slightly masculine features, to the point where any and all masculine features is a complete disbarment from even being able to be attractive. So while I do think that there is some
that's
sort
a question you need to ask
framework
yourself.
Here, I think it's mostly just rooted
you need to be honest
insecurity
with yourself,
individual anxiety about other people. While this entire conspiracy theory is bigoted and racist and transphobic, it is above all heterosexual. But it is another thing as well. It's Christian.
Ooh, well, we saw that coming, didn't we, chat? We saw that coming, right?
Conspiracy theory
Are you surprised?
The spiritual element. The idea of individual purity. Purity as a theme comes up a lot in these communities, especially talking about whether or not a person can lose their purity by changing who they are. A core part of the belief here is that the people who are inverts have a deep moral failing within them. And they can see this more.
Now that Chorley's back, I would like to point out once again that there's a dot on the in the background of Mia's screen, and it is not, in fact, a speck of dust that's on your screen.
Moral failing in many other aspects of their life as well. This is actually a lot more common in the smaller, more fringe areas of this community. Tywin here is actually kind of smart because he doesn't dig in that much into the ideas of the spiritual element. Tywin focuses on the scientific arguments, such as flared hips and Q angles and stuff like that. But on the edges of this ideology, there are people who believe in secret signs and numerology. People who say certain phrases or do certain movements do them.
I
as
just
a sort of
re-noticed
religious
myself, by the way,
argumentation.
totally.
And they are religious signs. But while the framing of this theory is very much tainted by New Age spiritualism and neo-pagan thought.
Wait, it still looks better than Heem's screen? Oh, right, Heem's like fucking I was gonna say his regular streamy screen isn't that bad, but then I remembered which thing you're talking about.
Stuff. The religion at the core here is Christianity.
God has a kingdom promised to us. Satan doesn't want that to happen. Satan wants to be our God.
Is this
and
Satan?
He wants this to be.
Isn't that Baphomet?
Which it basically is.
That's
already,
not Satan,
really.
right?
So that's and you can see it's transgendered. And what is this all about? The Baphomet. Why is
Oh,
the
it is
image
Baphomet.
of Satan a transgender?
Tywin here doesn't dig into the reasons of why inverts do the things that they do, but I fully believe that she believes that. She is one of the most popular posters, I think for a reason, because she acts as a sort of catch-all tent. She doesn't scare you away with embrace Jesus Christ to defeat the evil transsexual inverts. Rather, she just points out that celebrities can sometimes have female traits.
Okay.
And that acts as a sort of opening, a gateway. A very weird gateway, but a gateway nonetheless.
These sodomize these entities, all try to program us with this filthy degeneracy.
Now, Jesus, in all his glory, is not actually that relevant within the theory itself, but rather...
Sorry, I know this is another thing, but I actually do really want to get what's the church called? Is it satanic? Is it the Satanic Temple? I have really wanted to get let's see. I have really wanted to get like one of their mugs. Because look at these mugs. Isn't that awesome? And it has like the most beautiful glazes on it too. And they have like all different, I'm pretty sure they should have, oh here we go, here's a winged Baphomet mug. So they probably have t-shirts, Ergi. Oh, they don't. What? Oh, apparel. Alright, let's take a quick look. Okay, we're gonna quickly look at this. Hail Satan! Oh my god. Oh, established 666. Amazing.
The concept of purity. Remember how we talked about purity early on?
Don't worry,
talking about
Chodle,
how
he's not gonna
trans
stream
people
again.
Are the epitome of corruption and lack of purity, which is reflected in us being
That's
trans
true,
people.
Ergi.
This is based on the idea that you should be as God has created you to be. And any manipulation of
Oh
that
my
image
god.
is against God. And so, being trans, basically taking charge of your own body and changing it all the way however you want it to, goes against God's vision. And while transness has become sort of the main target of this conspiracy theory, there's a lot of other issues that are also impure. They can be things like minor surgery
Impure.
or vaccines. All of these things, they claim, are part of the demon's greater plan to corrupt who we are supposed to be as human beings, which in their view are vessels of a perfect divine soul. And the more we change our exterior, the more we corrupt that soul.
But God doesn't make mistakes.
I broke all
Jesus.
ties with the person I was with for 4 years, for many reasons. But one being because she got breast implants. She just couldn't see how it was an abomination to her body.
In fact, I would almost categorize...
Now, I will say that there are some people who just, like, who see all kind of body modifications as, like, not natural, right? I mean, I know that a lot of them do tend to be more conservative and all that shit, but, like, or religious or, you know, but... I think that there's like, there's room for some people to believe in that without necessarily being called transphobic, but like, of course, this is in addition to transphobic beliefs, right?
This as a back to basics Christianity, because they also reject basically all forms of organized religion. Most Christian denominations, especially the Catholic Church, are of course contributors to the great lie. Real religion, many of these people claim, is something that should be innately part of yourself and your close community. Depending on how extreme you are with this, even some forms of advanced technology or living in cities can also contribute to the corruption of who you are. All of this has a few political goals in mind. They all guide you towards one central direction. People have become too complicated. Dan Olsen made a video about flat Earth, which I think is amazing, that you should definitely watch. He explains that a lot of people who believe in flat Earth do so because they are confused about the state of the world. The world itself has become too complicated, and they are looking to unexplain it. They want to simplify the world.
They are trying to build a flat Earth.
Transvestigators are similar, but they argue that people have become overly complicated.
Bring back the days when males liked vaginas.
The world would be fine if it wasn't for those pesky humans coming along and ruining everything. This is why they have an overly simple explanation of sex and sexual characteristics. Overly simplistic biology and Q angles is basically the flat Earth of a lot of people in this theory. And I think it's a bit scary, because this line of thinking, talking about purity
it's such a dumb belief, is your mom a fan of
and overly simplistic views about your own body, that is the natural, albeit extreme, consequence of a lot of basic transphobic thinking. They all lead to the similar political goal of creating two static and completely separate sexed categories for people to exist within. Something to be maintained by force. The people who are involved in this ideology are deeply, deeply bigoted, specifically against LGBT people, or people who they believe have upended the traditional gender order. This does not just include LGBT people, by the way. This includes women who want to work. Men who don't want to work. People who do not fit in to the extraordinarily patriarchal societal norm that a lot of people want to break out of. It's an extreme, spiritual, and pseudo-fascist version of wanting to maintain the patriarchal worldview.
Real quick, Chole, like, I mean, I know you're memeing, but like, I mean, she would probably say, if I were to hazard a guess, that like Hitler wasn't a mistake, but he chose his actions, right? It would be the whole free will thing. Versus this is more of a, well, I can't accept that you were born wrong because God doesn't make mistakes in that way. Hitler was sent here as a trial. I mean, yeah, that's also one possibility, right? That Hitler was a trial. But that doesn't... I don't know of many Christians who would say stuff like that, you know? Unless they kind of already flat out believe that, like, that some people are here solely because of the devil or whatever.
And this is another reason why I think that they target mostly women. It's not just insecurity, but it's because they are successful women. They believe, of course, that women should have rights and have autonomy. But that autonomy should only exist within a hyper-women role and cannot overlap with any masculine interests. It is a group of people who want to simplify human relations and human identity. They want to build a new binary.
Go ahead, Pars. We're waiting.
In this video, we talked a lot about biomarkers and sex and many other things, a lot of which are kind of complicated. You might even start thinking, is sex even real?
Oh no, I smell sponsor.
Well, you're going to love my sponsor, who can make sure...
It's a sponsored bit! Hold on, we're gonna skip past the sponsored bit.
And if that sounds something that's up your...
You know?
I've been busy with a lot of other...
Oh my god, amazing. Wait, what did this seemed... This scene got cut, but I really wanted to show the hat again. Okay. Well, that was a really good video. I liked that video. I have not watched Mia Molda before, but, I definitely think I will be watching more for her in the future. Real quick, before we transition. I don't think he was any worse than anyone else during that time. I think that is actually pretty, not spicy, but that's like a take, right? That's like a take TM. I think that that's actually a really good one. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the way I kind of see it is that I can see what you're saying. I think the thing that I would agree with is that this stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? Like, he could have been a person with a really bad take or thoughts or actions, right? But if the culture or the environment in which he was presenting his ideas and plans of action and stuff, if that wasn't receptive to his thinking, then it wouldn't have happened, right? Hitler just had a really bad take. I don't think that is fair to the leaders that did not do any Holocaust. I don't know about leaders, Freddy, but I guess my point is that, like, the system kind of let him do it, maybe? So, but I don't know if I would say that the system or the people were as bad as Hitler, right? Because ultimately, one of you is coming out and saying, yeah, we need this final solution. And the other person is sitting there and saying, okay. So in that sense, the person who says okay is probably pretty fucking bad, right? But to say that he's as bad as the person who... I don't know, I guess it depends on what you think about the person who says okay. I think it depends on their... It depends on, like, their... agency. Churchill was pretty fucking... Yeah, Churchill was pretty fucking bad, yeah. I mean, I think to a certain degree, we say that he's bad because of the fact that he killed so many people, right? It depends on what pressure. Yeah, exactly. And, like, how much pushback the society had, and or if they kind of just went along with it, and... I mean, I think... Yeah. I can definitely see... I can see it. We say he's uniquely evil because he's an enemy. Well, Paris, of course we're going to say that, right? Like, that's just how history is written sometimes. Not because of the body count. I think the body count plays a pretty big factor into it, right? Also, okay, you know, also the other thing that plays a factor into it is, like, the recency, right? Because, you know, we've been talking about like atheism and stuff recently, and the Old Testament and all that shit, right? And if you want to look at it this way, right, the Old Testament Yahweh was a pretty fucking horrible genocidal maniac, right? So in that sense, wouldn't you say that he's worse than Hitler? But even if you were to take a person who believed in it, who believed in that, like, that idea that Yahweh was genocidal, we still don't treat it the same, just because it's either, like, it's too far away from us temporarily, it's too far away from us. Like, they're still, like... Actually, I don't know whether there are any living survivors of the Holocaust. Are they all dead by now? That's why Gnosticism is cool. I have to remind myself what Gnosticism is. Let's look up, Holocaust survivors. Are there any who are alive? Living? I guess there are, right? Okay. Body count doesn't matter so much. The intention, method of seizing power and wielding influence in authoritarian ways. Did you hear about the vet who drove himself to his own funeral? No? Testy? That sounds like a setup to a joke. Hitler's an abstraction of the whole organized effort. I think that's what I mean, Cho, because that you can say that Pars is right in that his ideas weren't, it's not like his ideas were being turned down. You know, they weren't, if there was pushback, it wasn't enough that, like, the Holocaust didn't happen, right? Like, the worst of it still happened, or at least the worst things that we know, they still happened. Invested parties who did their best efforts to see the idea through. Yeah, exactly. So, like, those people are probably, you could argue that those people are just as bad, right? I think we focus on Hitler for lots of reasons, right? A vet was driving to a cemetery for a memorial for WW2 vets, and he got T-boned in the cemetery and died, so the funeral was now for him as well. Jesus. Also, you said vet, and I'm only now realizing that you may have meant veteran, and I was thinking of, like, the animal doctor. But yeah, I think that, like, we focus on Hitler for sure. Like, we focus on Hitler quite a bit. Ain't no way. Same thing, really. Oh no. No. Sorry. Yeah. I think we focus on Hitler quite a lot because he's sort of irredeemable in a lot of people's eyes, right? Which is fair enough. But I can agree that, like, maybe we should focus on, like, more the conditions of those things and, like, how the people let that happen and how there wasn't anything to stop him, really. Or at least, if there were, they didn't succeed. We really need to work on redeeming Hitler. I mean, I think we just need to be focusing on, like, ways to not have that happen again, right? It's like when we say the left, we don't need everyone left to center. That's my wildly warm take. I mean, I like that. I actually like that take because it actually made me think for like 2 seconds. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Testy. Like some of the old genocides, like, we don't really talk about them too much because of just how far away they were, right? or how long. I mean, if you think about, again, if we think about how many people Yahweh killed, like, that's probably got to be at least in the millions, right? Like, he killed so many people. So, and including like not just like men, by the way, but like also women and children, and he like sanctioned, like, there's just so many things. Did you say Yahweh? Yeah, I did, Chodele. That's a bit of leftover from our last stream when we were talking about Christianity. Should have put Capra. Wait, hold on. What did Ergi say? Oh. Alright, so let's see what was the oh, so okay. Frankie Boyle. Right, so then where was the other? Oh, okay. Oh no, wait, hold on. Am I looking at the wrong shit? Oh, okay. Everyone is trans, the transvestigators. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna watch this next video. It's not gonna be very long. If you want to do some React content, Crowd has a cool video about the legacy of French police. Pars, would you mind sticking that in my content suggestions? Germanoid. Because I think we might have time after, you know,
apologies if I sound...
all of this. So we might do just some chill, or not, like, you know, some non-related content. Alright. Let's pause that and get right into this. So I've been so slow on the drawing today. The stun locks have been wild. Real quick, before we get started, I do want to do a very quick, tiny, quick shill. If you're here and you're enjoying stream, and you're enjoying my content, please go ahead and follow me if you haven't followed me. You can give me money. It is September, so subs are cheaper. And I am working towards getting a boom. What's it called? A boom arm. It's the mic thingy, so that I don't have to like get in like this, and this doesn't take up space on my desk, and I don't have to like look over my mic all the time. So that is something that I am saving up for, so I would appreciate money thrown my way. But also that is not needed at all. All I want is a follow, basically. I need to also get my follow count up there. I have 344 followers right now. But you know, I would like to get that number up, and it is growing. I'm glad at my recent growth. We do also have a Discord, which has been poppin' recently, or poppin' more than usual. So if you want to find out when I go live, you know, just go ahead and hop in there, if you haven't already. But that being said, let's get back into this. So I don't know what this is. I'm assuming, but there is a link that Ergi submitted, so I bet it's good. So let's see how it is. Let's see what the volume is like on this.
Snotty or nasally, or just like I have a cold, because I have had a cold. Yay. Hey Spuds, how's it going? It's Jamie. Welcome back to another video. First on the channel, I don't know, but welcome either way. And today I am pretty excited about this one. This is a video idea I have been working on, thinking about for a long time. I mean, I say working on for a long time. I don't know if that raises the bar of expectation of how good this video is going to be, beyond how good it's actually going to be. It's just been a concept that I've wanted to talk about and look at for a while, and I've just not got my little butt in gear to do it. But I'm here today. I have finally sorted out this video. Yay. But just quickly before we get on with the video topic, I just wanted to say I have written a book. If you'd like to go check it out, there is a link down below. I'm very proud of it. If you want to learn more, go click the link and everything, and that's all I wanted to say about it. Thank you very much for listening. Now on with the video. Basically, don't know if you've heard of this happening, but there's this thing, this phenomenon, this like really strange conspiracy theory that some people have, where a lot / majority slash most slash all celebrities are trans. It's a thing called transvestigation or transvestigators. It's basically people who look at and analyze photos and videos of mostly celebrities to say this is why this person is trans. So they look at mannerisms, physical appearance, expression, fashion choices, and take all of that into consideration in minute detail and go, this is why I think the person that I'm talking about is trans. They don't use quite as respectful language as that. They mostly take a famous cis woman and say, these are the reasons why I think that this person is actually male, and it's just so uncomfortable. Obviously there's nothing wrong with being trans. Obviously I don't think there's anything wrong with being trans, but in this scenario it is definitely being used as a negative thing, and like, you know, being trans is a negative and calling somebody trans is like an insult, or there is negative connotations around it, and it's not even done in a respectful way in terms of using the right language. So, and it's also really strange because it involves people really minutely analysing and dissecting all these little things about complete strangers and celebrities. Like, why are people doing this? And saying like, oh, this thing about them is masculine, or oh, this thing about them is feminine, so therefore trans. As an example, people who do this often will draw measurement lines.
Jesus
and this isn't just
Christ.
celebrities, but just like on random
It's
photos,
the Q angle,
especially of
chat.
couples. They'll draw like measurement lines, like a line from shoulder to shoulder or hip to hip, and say like, oh, the shoulder to shoulder line is longer than the hip to hip line, or shorter than the hip to hip line, therefore this person is actually blah. No, very strange. And I bet there's a big overlap between the people who are constantly saying little things like wearing a dress doesn't make you a woman, and the people who are now really like dissecting other people's expression and mannerisms and saying, ah, well, they're actually this because of this. So as I said, this is mostly aimed at celebrities and also mostly aimed at women. I've seen loads of women celebrities being called trans, and in the words of the transvestigators, male, for lots of different reasons. So I've seen this being done to Gwyneth Paltrow, Pink, J-Lo, Dua Lipa, and one of the more recent ones I've seen is Ellen Duck, who is Daniel Radcliffe's girlfriend, who up until very recently...
wait a second, I actually saw that one. Hold on, rewind. I actually saw that one. Hold on, can we go back? Oh. This is Daniel Radcliffe's Harry Potter girlfriend. Now what do you see? Oh my god. Dua Lipa is actually trans though? Wait, is she? I didn't know that. I actually did see a bit of this on Twitter. From like this 2 seconds that I spent on Twitter a day.
Was pregnant with their baby, as in up until very recently when she gave birth to said baby. But no, transvestigators have still chosen her as somebody that is quite clearly a trans woman. Not that they refer to her as a trans woman, but they've decided this because she's taller than Daniel Radcliffe. And oh, she rested her arm on his shoulder that one time. Yeah,
women don't rest their arms on men.
Like, what the hell? Oh, and another reason I've seen being given is because Daniel Radcliffe supports the trans community. So therefore, his strong support and allyship of trans people must mean only one thing, and that's that he is dating a trans person, and him dating her is the only reason he's vocally supportive. Just wow. Oh, and Ellen DeGeneres. I've seen an Ellen DeGeneres one, except they got really confused, and I think they thought that Ellen DeGeneres was a trans man, but then said her eyes gave her away as being a woman, and then they photoshopped long hair on her and airbrushed her face. So I cannot say enough so's.
Well, the shoulder resting thing has convinced me. True,
It's also been done to
Freddie.
some celebrities who are men, including Lionel Messi, the footballer, Ed Sheeran, the singer, and a woman he was with. I'm not sure if they were partners, but that kind of came as a package deal from the transvestigators. Mark Zuckerberg, Henry Cavill, as in Superman. I don't know if it's Cavill or Cavill. Sorry. Hugh Jackman and Matthew McConaughey. Just
Hugh
to name a few.
Jackman?
There are loads more people that this is.
Wait a second, hold on, I need to go back. What the fuck is happening? Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill's curly eye. They can't change the energy coming, no matter how much work they get done. They can't change the energy coming out of the eyes, the windows to the soul. I'll post more pictures in the comments. Henry Cavill's like the most masculine. Yeah, and Hugh Jackman. Fucking Hugh Jackman.
As
I want to
in
see this.
Superman. I don't know if it's Cavill or Cavill. Sorry. Hugh Jackman.
An example of a false Adam's apple on a female throat. Hugh Jackwoman with the shy little Adam's lentil implants. Oh my, standing in front of some masonry. Oh my god. I feel like we're being... Yeah, Freddy, this is what's funny, right? I'm assuming you were there for when they said that the people who are trans are actually, like, they're double trans. I didn't expect that. Holy shit.
Jackman and Matthew McConaughey, just to name a few.
Christ.
There are loads more people that this has been done to, and the reasons are always so ridiculously tiny and petty and just really bizarre, and is people pushing extreme versions of gender norms and expectations in terms of presentation, physical build, mannerisms and everything, and saying that if somebody deviates from this slightly compared to their presented gender, trans. They must therefore be trans. For women, if they are tall, trans. Slightly deeper voice, trans. Hips aren't big enough looking, trans. Visible jawline, trans. Adam's apple, or even a hint of an Adam's apple. You guessed it. Trans. And so many other things, and it's just like, I can laugh and smile through this video, but at the end of the day, it's really quite horrifying the detail in which other people's photos are being analysed and just physical things about them like that, and it's very uncomfortable. And a lot of this is rooted in misogyny and expectations that women should always live up to these very high standards.
I don't even know what
visible
jawline means. Well, I assume they mean like a strong jawline, right? Or if you don't have like I would say like, I don't know. Like there can be people who have like soft jawlines, which has a line where it's yes and no, Argy, because no. So you can have a soft here, let me show you. It's not always like associated with like a double chin, right? But let's see if this one, yeah, here we go. It is like the angle. It's not defined. I guess they mean a square jaw? Not necessarily though, right? Here, let me make sure my safe search. Okay, alright, just in case. Just in case. Here. I guess this is a good one. Like, these are soft jawlines. Weak or receding chin. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, like weak or receding chin. Or maybe that's another word for it. Here's like a strong, I guess this is the other thing, right? Like sometimes it's easier to see, oh Jesus, I guess that didn't really work out for me. You can see how like sharply defined it is. Like the line is there. Receding chins aren't feminine though. Look, you're talking to transvestigators, okay? I mean, I'd almost say that like this sort of thing is like this sort of like chin. I actually associate this sort of thing with like moms, you know, but maybe that's just because I've seen a lot of middle-aged moms who kind of have a double chin at this point, you know. Like that's just like an experience of mine. That's I guess here's a weak chin, right? The other thing too is that it doesn't go up. Like the line between where it joins your skin, where the skin joins your neck, and like from underneath your ear, like there's not such a strong line. Like there's no line here, there's a line here. I wonder what they think about the Trans-Siberian Railway. Shifting the chin forward is literally a part of facial feminization surgery. I'm actually now curious as to what they do when they do it, when they do facial feminization surgery. Examples including the hairline moved to create a smaller forehead, having lips and cheekbones augmented, or having the jaw and chin reshaped and resized. Fetal alcohol syndrome face. Dusty, I've already said a slur on stream today, okay? Let's not get me actually canceled. Moving the jaw. Wait, what? So what did you say? Shifting the chin forward. I mean, this, I would say this is making a strong jawline less strong. Bro bossing reduction. I can't actually tell the difference in the jaw here, other than maybe some tightening up. Sliding genioplasty, jaw reduction. But I think that the idea is to make it more, well, I guess, okay, look, maybe I will say, maybe it's just dependent on the face that you already have. Because, like, this, in this case, right, this is actually making the chin more strong, right? Because this is a weaker jaw than this. So maybe it's just according to the face that you have. Because, like, here's going from more strong to less strong. But then here's what I would call the opposite. But also this is like vastly different lighting. So not vastly different lighting, but like this is pretty different lighting. Making the chin weaker doesn't happen. Well, I'm just saying that, like, this looks like a weaker chin. No, hold on, sorry. Wait, wait, hold on. This is wait, where's the example of, like, this is the opposite. I'm dumb. Making the chin weaker doesn't happen. But then we also associate strong jaws with, I think maybe I'm confusing myself now. I think that it can be made stronger, but that doesn't, like, it can, because if you, okay, so here, let's look at the opposite, right? Okay, I know this is like generated shits, but it looks more strong because the brow ridge is filed down as well. Welcome in, Boots. Yeah, we're talking specifically about the chin, and whether, like, having a strong chin is considered to be more masculine versus feminine. And I think that it can be, like, I think it can be basically, like, either or, depending on the face, right? Like, this is going from, well, this is maybe let's actually find an actual picture. Yeah, like, this is what I'd call a soft chin, and this is, well, the angle is slightly different, but maybe a stronger chin, right? I don't know. So here's like, okay, here's an example of what I was saying, Ergi. So, like, if this were a before picture, right, the after picture would probably be making this come out more, right? And so that would be, like, masculinization of the face. But I can imagine this person, if this person were a woman and they were getting, if this person were, like, transitioning to a woman, they would also probably get a very similar surgery where it kind of carves out this thing, but it's done in a different way so as to be more petite. So it's a stronger jaw, but it's just, like, more feminine. For me, they reduced the size of my chin, but they also slid it forward, so is it a stronger chin or not? I think it is. I think that, okay, I'm not gonna tell you, you don't have to do this, so you don't have to, like, send me any pictures, but I would say, depending on what you look like before and what you look like afterwards, I would say that, like, you probably did get a stronger chin, but it's a stronger female chin, right? What about this one? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Is this actually, like, hold on, what? Parse. Parse, what is this? This looks like I can't tell if this person is real or not. Like, this person looks like they got the fucking surgery that I hate. This. I forget what it's called. I hate the surgery. My god, do I hate it. It's real. Man, body dysmorphia. Zoom in a bit. I am zoomed in. Hey, why was I censored earlier? I shoot lightning. I think I remember, and it was an inappropriate comment at like, it was not the right time for it. And I'd already talked about whatever we were talking about, and I'd moved on, and it was just not the right time for it. And in any case, I'm not really here to, like, we're not arguing right now about whether trans people are, like, valid or not, you know?
In order to be real women, and if they do not do this, then there must be something different about them, and in this case they're trans, according to these people. Some people even have
but it's not neither the time
where
it's neither the time nor the place. So, like, if you're gonna do it again, I'm just gonna time you out again, or just straight up ban you. Like, you gotta read the room, bud. It's really not that, it's not that hard. It's not hard. Got a real transvestite. I mean, listen. That's cool, you know? But I don't know. I'm not, I didn't invite it. I don't want it. Take it elsewhere.
This is the root of it. I'm not kidding. And make whole videos going after one person or a couple. So I found this one where somebody just made an entire video going after Zendaya and also Tom Holland. It's pretty odd. Just gonna warn you before we watch it, because we're gonna have a little look. I genuinely was sat there going, this must be a parody. And I tried to look into it and I could find no indication that it was a parody, but several indications that it was not a parody. There is still a very minimal chance it was a joke, but anyway, let's watch it together.
Good to hear your home, Dizek.
Episode of celebrities that you didn't know were actually the opposite gender. We're going to be covering Mandaya.
We are having fun, Dizek. Glad to hear you're home safely.
Oh, she's even changed the name. No.
AKA Zendaya. Let's just get right into it.
Zendaya?
By now, if you've been following for a minute, you know male skeletal markers. Skeletal marker number one, the straight across clavicle. We've got the brow ridge. We've got the deep socketed eyes. We've got the wide dental arch. We've got the can opener jaw. We've got the thick neck.
Did she just say can opener jaw? Thick neck.
We've got the shape like a
Wait,
V.
thick neck? Thick neck? What the fuck? Oh, wait, Dizek, have you Dizek, were you here for, like, this? Look at that thick neck! It's so thick! Oh my god, no! What's happening? I shoot lightning, thank you for the follow. Dude. So no matter the tinfoil wearing group, we always talk about skull sizes. That dress is hot. It really is. But, like, I can't. Okay, actually, I'm such a spider nerd. That is a pretty cool dress. I'll give it to you. But also, like, she looks real thin in this picture. Her neck is so skinny. What are you talking about? Oh my god, please tell me that they're gonna talk about how her clavicles aren't, like, angled. Because I can see them being like, well, that's straight across.
These really, really, really long arms and really big hands. These are just a few of the opposite gender markers.
There's more. But seriously, like, you're taking a photo of a total stranger, you're taking one photo, you're describing all of these things that are not completely accurate. Markers. These are not exclusive things to one or other biological sex. And then you're saying, like, these are just a few things based on this one photo of this one person. And actually, some of them don't even count. I'm just kind of making them up.
There are others to confirm, but when in doubt, look at the significant other or the spouse. spouse. Hey, this is just
Wait,
super
what?
easy.
Why?
We have Tammy Holland over here. Body shape goes out like a peplum top.
Excuse me, Tom Holland. He's not the tallest guy, but saying he has a body shape like a peplum top? Really? Not that it's a good enough reason.
Transvestigators are trying to be transphobic, but they end up being insanely misogynistic instead. Yeah, I think that was, so the video that we watched earlier, Boots, was the Mia Mulder, I think, video that kind of went way more in depth about it. But yeah, that it does look like they just I mean, I think they also are, what's the opposite, misandrist? I mean, I think they, wait, no. Wow, why am I blanking on the opposite word? Oh, no, it is misandrist. And misanthrope is like everyone. But okay, yeah, I mean, I think it's just, it's like they don't conform to this idea in their head, so they're just gonna attack anyone who looks not to that standard.
To make this kind of
Misandrist when you
video,
hate
even
the
if
best.
he did have that body shape, because it still doesn't mean anything, but like he literally doesn't, which makes it even stranger.
Have a lack of brow ridge, no Adam's apple, smaller
No
skull,
Adam's
and then in
apple
comparison to Mandea, it's very, very obvious that this individual has male skeletal markers and this has female skeletal. They all worship Baphomet, which is a transgender god that they have.
Oh shit!
Religion.
It's
Study these
revealed!
markers so that you aren't deceived.
They're Baphomet enjoyers. Fuck.
That was like all about gender markers, and then just went like a whole other level of odd with that last bit about a transgender god that is worshipped. I'm actually a trans person and I've never heard of that. Whoa. What? And also, like, the amount of things that she was describing that are just not accurate, like Tom Holland's body shape, saying he doesn't have an Adam's apple when he very clearly does. It's unbelievable to me that there are things like this that actually exist and there's even a question or not of whether it would be a parody. This should only ever exist as a really shitty
We get our
joke
own god.
that isn't funny. That's like the worst it is, just a really bad, distasteful joke. But no, like, people are actually legitimately out there thinking these things.
You got a
I'm
ring
not
camera
100%
for your
sure whether
sister?
this person is doing this 100% genuinely, but like I'm pretty sure they are. This person makes too many videos about this, like pretty much their whole Insta is
You know, using this person's arguments, we can make educated assumptions that she's a trans person. Oh my god. Unhinged, hypocritical, hilarity, also terrible. Who's Roseanne Barr? Such obvious male skeletal markers. Oh my god. Okay, wait, who's Roseanne Barr? That actually sounds very familiar. Let's pull this up, take a look. Oh, right, an actor? Oh, controversial. There was a transvestigative Facebook group that fell apart because the members thought the admin was trans. No, Orgy. And more recently, Ambien made it racist. Oh dear.
Just about this, about various
Ambien.
different people, various different like skeletal markers that you should be looking out for. And their Insta bio is Hollywood exposer teaching critical thinkers how to identify inverted celebs. Like, holy shit. It's too deep to be a joke. There's too much. There's another video she made where she's pointing out skeletal markers that people should be looking out for to identify a cis woman from a trans woman, and then a cis man from a trans man. She did as two separate videos. I mean, not that she's using the correct terms for trans people, but yeah, apparently cis women are shaped like a peplum top. This is a peplum top. That's how she describes Tom Holland being shaped, with shorter legs, lower navels, delicate wrists, small hands, a not pronounced jawline, maybe just not a jawline, no chin, or a very small chin. Basically, women just have no bones here. That's what it sounds like she's getting at. Small features, rounder skull.
Also, I think the other thing, Ergi, is that I think that like a stronger, like you can have a stronger chin as a femoid, but it has to be smaller in general, right? So like I don't even know if like my hair kind of hides my chin, but I would say that I have a pretty strong chin. So that would be, especially like here you go. You can kind of see it here. Good chin. I don't know why they call it strong then. I mean, it's a jaw. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's a jaw, right? Just say small or large. The thing though is that I can see, okay, so for example, I can see how, especially head on, right? Head on with my hair pulled back, right? I can see how this chin would be considered like manly, right? Because it actually is quite square. I'm trying to look at myself at the same time and I can't do it. Butt chin. Yeah, I actually do have a little butt chin. The only thing that makes his chin look strong is you've got that little butt chin. Yeah, no. I actually have the butt chin, but it's not very prominent, right? So, but that being said, if my jaw was smaller in general, then it wouldn't look, that the squareness of it wouldn't look so masculine. Not that I care, not that I give a shit, right? Like, I mean, I give a shit enough that, like, I wear my hair like this so that it hides a bit of the actual squareness. It's why you won't really see me, like, pull my hair entirely back. Even if I pull my hair back like this, I usually bring out a few pieces in front to kind of frame my face and prevent, like, that part from really sticking out. And I wouldn't say that's an insecurity thing. That, I mean, it kind of is and it isn't. It's more like I prefer my face when it is framed. So, if my chin were smaller, then maybe that would not be such an issue. I don't know. I'm overanalyzing it now. Watch me come in and be like, guys, I got plastic surgery to make my chin smaller.
A hip to shoulder ratio that goes
I would say you have a strong jaw and weak chin, but a large chin. But that doesn't make. Yeah, I do have a large. I would say I have a large chin. Yes, because there's not a whole lot of definition, right? Like it is a very like square jaw. It doesn't really come down as much. I think size is big, small, and prominence is strong, weak. Okay, yeah, that actually makes more sense, Boots. That does make more sense. But, like, overall, I guess maybe if you... Whoa! If you... Sorry about that. If you hid the rest of my... I mean, I don't necessarily care either, right? But, like, if you hid the rest of my face, I actually wonder what these people would say about my face. But women don't have weaker chins, though. I mean, I think that they just have smaller chins. Now I have to go back and look at more pictures, I think. Now I'm like mixing all these pictures up in my head. I have a weak chin. I think there are other factors that also play into it too, right? Even though we're looking at, like, so for example, even though we're looking at just the, okay, actually, let me go back real quick. To like when we were looking at facial feminization surgery, like even though theoretically we are only looking at like here, let's look at this one, right? This is a pretty not a subtle one, but like even though we're trying to only look at like the chin, there are other things that are going to enter our eyes whether we like it or not, and just telling us that the person on the right is a little bit more feminine. Right? So again, I don't really see that much of a difference between these two, like these two chins. Maybe you guys can. I can't really see a whole lot of difference. Do you like a slimmer Stardust? I get that all the time. I shoot lightning. The angle is kind of messed up, I think. Yeah. Did we find a trans woman? Do we like her? Sexiest trans woman alive? Oh, this person? I mean, I don't even know if this person is trans, right? Like, but yeah, I don't know. I would say that, like, even if I were trying to, unless I physically put, like, a black screen on the top half of this face, like, it would still, like, the brow stuff, I think I can see, yeah, the angle is messed up. I don't know what they did there. Post-op FFS pictures are usually made only like 2 weeks after, so they're still swelling. Oh, gotcha, okay. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I can, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna go back to my idea that it just kind of depends on the face that you already have, and take that face and see what makes it, like, more feminine. Which, I guess, with the chin, usually makes it, like, smaller. A lot of the pics you find online are still in the swelling phase. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be rough as well. That's gotta be rough to, like, use as a guide, right? The lips do way more work here than the chin surgery. Oh, you mean in that picture earlier? Yeah, the lips are pretty... Yeah. How do I get a more manly chin? Here, let me, the only way you are going to get a more manly chin, testy, I don't know what your chin looks like now, but if it isn't this, then you're not a man. Okay? So take this picture specifically in to your surgeon. Okay? This picture specifically. Ask for the butt chin. You need the butt chin. You need the straight angle here. Like, you know, those Punisher skulls? You need that, right? It's very... I'm booking the surgery now. Okay, good. You need the, like, this brow ridge needs to be poppin'. Your eyes need to be half hidden, okay? And if you just got these 3 things, then you're Gucci. Is that a weird Squidward? This is a... Wait, who are you calling weird, Dzek? This is sexy Squidward. This is the most manliest... Please do the cheekbones too. Okay, yeah, sorry, Boots. Yes, you are right. The cheekbones also need to be just like this. You're really missing. Will this do? Oh no, what's happening? Oh no, hold on. Oh, here, it's not actually, it doesn't like your link. I had to copy and paste it. Please don't be TOS, parse. I trust you. Oh my gosh, wait, what's this? Will this do? Oh, wait. Oh no, it's this surgery again. Wait, but also, although I will say in this picture, it also looks like he's done that surgery. I need to figure out what's that name again. What's the name of that surgery? What's, plastic. God, I can type. Cheeks. Oh, buccal. Oh, it's called buccal fat removal. Okay, yeah. Wait. I hate the surgery so much. So much. Why do all these pictures look flattering? Well, no. Here we go. Ah! Hate it. Jesus. Alright, thanks for lurking, Dzek. Not a fan. No, I'm not a fan either. This is awful. I'm sorry. I mean, it's your body, you can do what you want with it. But I think that's the, I have heard that, like, that this surgery in particular is, like, I don't know about irreversible, but, like, I think it is, like, pretty, I've heard, I need to investigate this more, but, it's pretty hard to reverse, essentially. Why don't they just use contour? It's the same thing without... True, Boots! Just get better at makeup. It's not actually that hard to get good at makeup. I mean, like, you'd have to practice, but, like, you can do it. Like, sharp contouring was really it was like the in thing, right? Can we attach wings to men surgically? Listen, if they figure out how to give us wings that we can actually use to fly with, I'm on it. I am on it. I want wings. Okay? Give me wings. I want to fly. I don't want to fly like a Superman. I want to fly like a bird. Okay? I want bird wings. I don't care that I'll have to tear all my shirts apart to be able to wear clothes. Also, by the way, if people did really have wings, I think they'd have to be like fucking massive to be able to lift us. I'm gonna pull that up real quick and then we're gonna be done with this stun lock, okay? Here we go. This was like, yeah, so you'd have to be, this would be how big your wings would have to be in order to actually, like, get you off the ground. You'd basically have to have, like, hang glider wings. Not if you have super feminine tiny bones, then you don't need massive wings, true, Argy. But you'd still have to be pretty fucking big. I would not, like, can you imagine this folded? This would be dragging on the fucking ground when they are folded. Base, give me those wings. I know, Boots, I really want these wings. They'd be so impractical. Imagine sleeping, like, on a bed with wings. I know, I really want it. I don't care how impractical it is. Best Christopher Walken? Wait. Best we can do is chicken wings? Oh god, please no. What's that, like, X-Men? Was he, like, I'm trying to think about whether he was, like, he had, like, the most realistically sized wings in the movie. Maybe not. That's still pretty small, right? That's still pretty small. I don't know if we actually have, like, realistic, impressions of wings in movies. I want these wings, though. That Asian Kung Fu Generation music video wasn't accurate. Jesus. Google Sanguinius. Okay, last unlock before we move on, okay? We have half an hour left. Sanguinus the Great Angel. Ooh. Oh, cool. From Warhammer 40k. Those look pretty big. But they're still not, like, they still don't look like, they still don't look hang glidery, you know? But that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I just want wings. Oh, this is closer to it. I don't know. Alright, stun lock done. Let's get to the routes. We have 6 minutes of this video left. We can do this, chat.
Like this, like an inverted Dorito, or upside down Dorito, back curvature. As she did another video, as I said, about skeletal markers of cis men. Not that she said cis men, it's like these are female skeletal markers and male skeletal markers, but she know, you know, if we use the respectable terminology, that's what she's getting at. So, cis men should be shaped like an upside down pizza. With pepperoni on or not? They should have straight clavicle bones, a higher up navel, longer limbs, pronounced brow ridge, can open a jawline. Like, not just a jawline, but like that jaw needs to cut through some cheese. Well, some cans, big square skull, and wide dental arch. If you were to actually follow all of these to determine if random people from a randomly selected photo are actually trans or not, or just like literally every single photo of a person taken ever or seeing them in person, if you were to use these markers, you would be making a hell of a lot of mistakes. Like, a lot. It is utter bullshit. Seriously.
Bullshit, Vivian. And I know exactly. Bullshit.
And then let's not even look or get into the comments. All I'm gonna say is that even if she is trolling, not every single person in her comments are trolling. Yeah. Someone else also made a 10-minute long video explaining all the reasons why they think that Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is a trans man, trans woman. That's the one. But they say why she's actually a man, because not only is this very strange, they're also very rude about it. You know, they call a cis woman who they've arbitrarily decided was assigned male at birth a man and just misgender them, like we saw in the TikTok, and she even changed their names. Anyway, a 10-minute video that I've skimmed through. I cannot bring myself to sit down and watch the whole thing, and honestly, it's just obsessing over the tiniest, strangest little details about this complete stranger. Things like brow ridge, her hands being too deep in her pockets.
What?
Seriously. Large teeth, an angular, non-smooth face. Non-smooth face. What? Sitting in a certain way, liking Drag Race. I wish I was joking. Among Alexandra, the same person also made claims about JLo. As I mentioned earlier, JLo has been somebody that has been called trans. They've also made an entire video about JLo in the past, describing all of the reasons why they think she is trans. And
True, women don't have pockets, this is a fact.
Not sure if they think he's trans too, or just feminine. They didn't elaborate on that point. But assuming that they think femininity equals woman and masculinity equals man, then maybe they did. And beyond celebrities, I found this photo of a Victorian couple. I think it's a Victorian couple. Black and white photo from quite a while ago on a bike, a joint bike, where apparently their genders are being questioned because their skull sizes are the wrong way round. What the actual hell? Then just bizarrely,
wait, hold on a
TikTok
second. Real quick. This is like double dumb too, because like this person is very clearly in the back of the photo. I only buy dresses with pockets. Is that a penny farthing tricycle? It kind of does look. Yeah, I think so. I didn't even know that they had a seat in front. That's actually kind of funny. But also like, okay, hold on though. This is really awful. But like now that I'm like thinking about the ways that these people kind of analyze this stuff, like I can see what they would say, right? They'd say like this is a very feminine chin and this is not, right? Masculinity equals clothes, it's functional pockets. Welcome in, Mark with an M. How are you doing? Fake mustache? True. Where's the long hair? Where is it? But yes, Boots, I love it. I don't usually buy clothes that have fake pockets. Like either they have no pockets or they have like pockets. I hate the fake pocket bullshit. But also not only that, but it's a rare treat when not only does your dress have pockets, but they have like pockets that can actually hold things. Like I have this skirt that's it's like from Black Milk or whatever. It has pockets that are made out of the same material as the skirt, so the pocket itself is pretty sturdy. So you can put your phone in it, the whole thing doesn't go down because like it's just sturdy. Like those are the best clothes. If you can find clothes like that, oh, so good.
Hell. Then just bizarrely, there's a TikTok where somebody is filming in a shop and it's like a little like a photo of somebody doing an advertising something in the shop, just like on a banner, and they zoom in on this photo and it's showing an Adam's apple on a woman. Like, I just wonder what they're implying there. Honestly, do some people not have anything better to do than to obsess over the bone structures and the seating positions and how deep a stranger's hands are in their pockets? I feel like some people really don't have anything better to do. It would be weird to do this about anybody. Celebrity, stranger, random person in the street, best friend, family member.
I'm
like,
a
it's just a strange
myself.
thing to do, to scrutinize somebody else to this level and then determine something about them that they have not in any way shared to you. But really, it's an untrue conspiracy theory that's very deeply rooted in the concept of we can always tell you're trans, because really you can't. You really can't always tell. So now it just feels like some people are clutching at straws, being like, this is the list that you need to meet if you're this gender, this is the list you need to meet if you're that gender, nitpicking at random little things and going, well, that makes you trans. Some take the conspiracy even further than this and claim that every celebrity is trans and transitioned as a sacrifice to become rich and famous, as if being trans is just an inherently horrible thing and just a bad thing that nobody would ever want to do. But Loads of fame and money? Okay, I can just about handle it. But also, like, if every rich, famous, powerful person were trans, probably would not see as much transphobia as we do, so I really don't think it's true. When you expose the gender trap and tell them every celebrity is born the opposite gender and transitioned as sacrifice to gain fame and money and power, then created the LGBT community to continue blood, physical, surgical sacrifices, but you all ain't ready for this convo yet. Wow. Again, not sure if this is 100% coming from a genuine place, but like looking into these things deeper, there's not any obvious tells that it's a joke. And it's kind of uncomfortable that there's even a question because it should just be a bad joke and nothing more. I'm not really sure how celebrities who've actually publicly transitioned fit in with this conspiracy theory. You know, people like Elliot Page and Chaz Bono. Is it Bono or Bono? There's one N. They were famous before they came out as trans. They're still famous now. Publicly transitioned. What does this mean for the conspiracy theory?
Few things cause a woman's face to light up more than being complimented on her dress and getting to respond by shoving her hands into its pockets, rocking up under the balls of her feet and proclaiming, "Thanks, it has pockets." I absolutely do this. This is 100% the way to do it. Yes. Yes. That is easy W right there. Easy W. If you can detect a pocket on a dress, yes, go ahead and compliment the dress. You won't regret it. You will instantly make her day.
I don't know. I mean, it's bullshit
How do you know
anyway,
my life?
but I'm, you know, just to challenge it even more. So what I can gather from making a video like this is the conspiracy theories around trans people run very deep. The level of just what the f about this whole transvestigator thing is extreme. And I'm shocked that it's not just all a parody and that people genuinely seem to believe it. It is the most ridiculous thing that some people think that they can just look at a photo or even in person look at another human being and go, your jaw looks like it could open a can. Your arms are kind of long, and there is a hint of brow ridge. You are trans! Let's not do that. Utterly bizarre to me. Cannot get my head round it. Also seems to show like a slight fear of the trans community and thinking that like rich, powerful people are all trans. I don't know. What a wonderfully, horribly odd conspiracy theory that I want.
Well, also, you know what we haven't seen yet, actually? We haven't seen the explicit link between this and, like, the Jews. They were kind of hinting at it earlier with the whole, like, with the stuff at the beginning of the Mia Mulder video, but they didn't exactly make that connection, right? Or at least, like, this person and Mia Mulder didn't do that. But I wonder now if there is, like, a link. I mean, we already know that there's, like, isn't there, like, isn't there, like, that anti-Semitic theory that, like, George Soros is funding the LGBTQ or whatever? I don't know.
I wanted to talk to you about today.
I could be wrong about that.
So yeah, not every celebrity is trans. You cannot tell that somebody is trans. The only way you can know for sure if someone is trans or not is if they tell you, or you literally see information about it, but you cannot tell by just looking at somebody. And actually, this does not just harm the trans community, it also harms cis women as well by saying if cis women are ever so slightly not feminine, then they are actually men, and then like treating them shitty because of that. You know, it's horrible to trans people, it's horrible to anybody to make these kind of assumptions. And no, I hate it. That's it. If you like this video, think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure if you don't. And as always, I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye. Did I say thank you for watching? Well, thank you for watching.
All right. Well, that was delightful. I am gonna subscribe. Thank you. Oh, I just came up with a disgusting reason why women having pockets is haram. Go ahead. Tell it to us. Tell it to us. Okay, let's take a look real quick here. I just want to see. Here, let me actually get this up while I pull this. Alright, what do we think? Alright, am I trans? Anyone want to take a guess? Maybe we can ask Mr. Beans if he married, a trans woman. Yes. Okay, let's see. One time I got on a bus and a dude had his hands in his girl's pockets and he was clearly fingering her. It was very uncomfortable. Therefore, women can't have pockets because it will tempt men. Nailed it. Mr. Beans is probably trans too, honestly. Oh no. He's gonna have something to say about that. Oh my goodness. Can I time out mods? You cannot. Oh no. He's being awfully defensive about it. Yeah. He's he must not only be trans, he must be double trans. We've just fooled each other. Does that make us, does that put us back right into like a man and a woman getting married? Oh wait, hold on a second. No, if he was wait a second, hold on a second. I just realized. If he's MTF to M, that means that really it's a man. Because remember, I'm secretly a man. So technically, this is a homosexual relationship, which is a whole nother level of haram. Yo, Mr. Beans, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I gifted sub, please stop. Yo, gay. Oh no. Alright, we'll stop. Thank you for the sub. Yo, Frozen Lunkin, if you're still here, you got a sub. You have a new rumor to spread. Perfect. Amazing. Gifting subs is very feminine behavior. That's true. That's true. Wait, does that mean that Mirutsi is actually still a woman though? Because she gives a lot of subs, but now that we've learned about this, I don't know, just everyone's thrown into question now. Like, maybe we have to sit here and analyze Mirutsi's facial features and her body structure before we can even say that she's a woman. Jesus. No, see, Argy, no. They only went to the second they only went to the second level, okay? So I trust them. I trust them that that's where it stops. I don't think it goes any deeper than that. Gifting many subs is sugar daddy behavior. Oh, there you go, Pars. There it is. Don't tell William he once gifted. Only by being infinitely trans can we abolish gender. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's we need to find another way to say like it's turtles all the way down. William, more like Wilhelmina. If everyone is trans, then no one. Oh my, you know what? We need to make that Is it no? Here we go. We need to make this. Can we do this? Here, I'm gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna tweet it out. We're gonna save it. We're gonna tweet it out. Okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Imagine me using Photoshop for this very important, Okay, so we've got... Oh wait, this is locked. Get out of here. I need to figure out how to do the content to where tool on Photoshop. I keep forgetting to look it up. I don't want the history brush tool, I want this. Alright, let's get a good trans in here. That's so small! Did I fuck it up? Okay, we need like a 36, we need, something... Oh, actually, we get to pick? Pick? Huh? Oh, here we go. Pick the color. Okay. Regular. Oh, wait, why did I make it small? Hello, Addicted to Mosh, welcome in. We are just vibing. I don't think it needs to be a different, maybe it should be impact. No, I don't like that. Should it be like bright red? Should we just like make it completely different and just lean in with it? I think that should be fine, right? If we just lean into the different. Just make it a bright red. Have you watched the last Flat Earth video? No. Addicted to Mosh, I have not. We kind of went on a trans people arc today. Alright, how's this looking? Oh, wait. Or should we keep it yellow? Actually, you know what? I might actually keep it yellow because... Or like give it that outline, right? How do you give it the outline? Alright, bye Pars. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Helvetica? Alright, let's see. Should be in here. Oh, what? No? Hello? That's really rude. I don't have Helvetica, apparently. Oh wait, is it just down here? No, it's not. I had another trans discussion earlier on Reddit, stupid as ever. Oh no. No, Mosh. You should not be discussing this stuff on Reddit. That seems like the worst place to be doing it. I don't actually know how to make it have a shadow. Other than... No, I don't want to make it 3D. Bro, yeah, I know, I don't know. Alright. Well, I can't figure out how to give it a border. I must be, like, incredibly stupid. That's fine, though. It should be visible like this. Alright, let's just save it and tweet it, okay? Twitter. Or as it's currently known, X. But Twitter still redirects to it. And it's still called Twitter when it does it. Alright. Let's put a nice little plug in there for me as well. I think that'd be nice, right? All right. Hopefully, I really hope that, like... Here, let me show you this. Alright, y'all. How do you... Copy link. Alright, go ahead. Follow me on Twitter. Repost. One like. Alright. Let's go ahead and wind down. I'm hungry. It is almost 9. Who can we raid out to? They always want to know what a woman is, but never give you a good definition that is not based on undefined terms. So glad we could inspire your first tweet in like a week. Raid Wick, he's about to end. Oh no, Tessie, no, come on. Let's not do that. I mean, I'd love to raid Wick, but like... How many people do we have in chat? We're gonna bleed so many viewers. I'd rather give them to someone. I guess we have 13 viewers. Let's see, is he still streaming? He is. I really do think he's gonna end, like, in 2 minutes. Okay, Tuna Chip is on, Stardust is on, who do we want to go to? Doodleburb is on. You know who I haven't raided in a while is, he's deciding who to raid. Oh my god, please don't have him raid me. He just did that the other day and I had to end and it was so awkward. Let's see what Stardust is doing. Oh, like actual politics and stuff. Let's see. Also, Testy, I wanted to say this earlier. Holy shit, that fucking emote you have is so... That people is so realistic and it's ridiculous. I don't know how I feel about it. Stardust raiding Stardust, that's gonna cause a black hole. That's actually a... That would actually be a fun raid message. Can we do that? What should the raid message be? We could... Oh shit, hold on. I gotta start... I gotta get better at this shit. Next time I'll have a raid message prep too, okay? Here you go. That's the raid message. Okay. Alright, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I will see you Sunday morning. We will be playing Pokemon Leaf Green. So, feel free to come by and say hello to me then. Everyone have a good night.